Yes, and we're live for another Friday night pint. It's me, Dan here, Dan Lawless with Scott and Graham. And guess what? Nicky is late as usual. So no surprises there.
The shock.
I know all the comments. I know the shock and horror. Everybody, you know what the funny thing is, right? I've said this now, but all the people that are joining after I've said this are going to be like, where's Nicky? Where's Nicky? Where's Ryan? Ryan's not here tonight because he's sorting his broadband out. So you're just going to have to hold the fort with us three. And, speak of the devil when he shall appear, just on time. He slipped right in on the nick of time. He's hiding backstage, waiting for his moment. But we've got a lot to talk. Here he is. Whee, look at that. Timing. There he is. You're just in time. We just started and we're doing the how are you, how you been, what you're doing, where you're drinking, what you're all about.
Wait, I'm always on time. What are you talking about?
Nicky, your nose is poking the webcam.
He's always on time. He's just got a late. His watch is like.
Jesus Christ! What's happened to your hair?
What?
I thought it was a green screen for a minute. What happened?
Mate, it had to go. I was looking like a cross between Ken Dodd and the Doctor at the Cannonball Run. It had to go.
Jesus!
All the comments have been about Graham. Graham and Nicky look like twins now.
I was basing me look on it. I thought,
I'm sure there was a guy in the bill that Graham used to be in the bill back in the 90s that Graham looks like.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone that's making fine comments about my hair.
You look proper well.
Do you know what?
Thank you, Mr. Hamrick. Thank you.
I think you're right. I can.
I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it was, but I'm researching.
Do your research. A lot of people say it's
researching.
Who you look like from the bill.
One of the criminals, probably.
Was it from the bill? Was it Burnside?
Tosh.
Wasn't it? Was it Burnside? Tosh, that's it.
Yeah, he had prominent eyebrows as well, didn't he? I'm not.
He did. See, that's why I couldn't go like no. Otherwise, I would look like the baddie at Thunderbirds, the hood.
You look like Parker.
I look like Parker when I had my hair long. It was all over.
No, it's not great. You starting to look like Parker.
Yes, my lady.
People are really liking it. Wait, Reg Hollis, Ryan said. Is that the one? I think?
Reg Hollis. No, it definitely ain't Reg Hollis.
No, he was the one. I can't think.
Who's that?
That's Reg Hollis. Yeah, he was. God, look at him now, man. That. Oh.
What? Oh, it's got to adjust the light. Now you ain't got that. It's all overexposed.
Oh,
What is he, a ghost?
It was a proper before and after look.
Captain Black of the Mysterions.
That's it. The Mysterons from Captain Scarlet.
Yes. For those who remember Captain Scarlet, Andrew Lloyd Webber, bloody old. Do you know what? I have not. I think we should scrap all the topics and just talk about Graham's new look for the rest of the show. I mean, this is the comments are brilliant. But Scott, you need to join us now, mate. You need to crop that down, mate.
Nah, that's all right, mate. This is as low as it gets. So
living it up. So
someone says they see the Rock. You look at this guy. That's why.
Oh.
Graham, lift. Can you raise an eyebrow? One eyebrow up. There we go.
That's not really raised. Fuck me, you nearly washed my car with them eyebrows.
No, you need these. When you wipe it down with a chamois after, use these bad boys.
Right, let's get into it. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us again for Friday Night Pint. You know what? I'm going to have a little drink this tonight. Chin.
Why is it when I don't have a drink, everyone else has a drink?
I can't drink. I'm on call.
You're on call. We're on call.
It's got some calls. That's just me and Nicky tonight.
Bob Hoskins is a good shout.
Dr. Leg's an even better shout.
Who's that? Dr.
Someone's put Dave Quinnan.
Scott's got
PC
4
Dave
haircuts
Quinnan.
left. Yeah, you're
That's
right, mate.
Nicky saying, isn't it? He's four haircuts away.
PC.
Can we see this one?
No, mate.
Yeah, hold it up a bit. Hold it a bit
Hold on.
closer.
Do you know what? Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, that's PC Dave Quinnan.
That's him. Yep.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. So thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Friday Night Pint. As usual, it's our favourite time of the week. We get to chat to all you lovely people. We've got midweek musings coming on. I couldn't film it any earlier than today because I've been like mega busy, rushed off my feet this week, and I've just literally got in. I've been getting in this time every week, but don't worry about that. You know what I mean? So yeah, what are we talking about then, boys? Who done the subjects today?
I put them up. So we got, like I said, the Tammy Abraham story that's come out. The Barcelona wanting Souceck for 28 million. We're going to talk about the Leeds game. Fabianski, is he fit or isn't he fit? What's going on there? And obviously, we've dropped out of the top 4. Season over. It's all over, guys.
Oh, yeah, pack it in.
That's it. It's all done. It's all done.
Moyes out.
Right,
yeah,
go on, Gray. You pick the subject first, mate. You pick the first subject.
We was having a little chat about it off screen. Let's talk about us being linked with Tammy Abraham.
Yeah.
Do you
know what the thing was? Right, is I was sort of seeing some of the links, and I was like, I'm not really gonna give my opinion one way or another. But I started seeing loads of posts of people going, some of our fans don't want Tammy Abraham. They're idiots. Some of our fans are right idiots not wanting Tammy Abraham. I saw so many posts like that, and I thought, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, if people want to give their opinion one way or another on if they think if a player's right for West Ham, why does it make them idiots? People should be allowed to express their opinion on a player. And there's obviously different reasons why people might be concerned whether Tammy Abraham could come and do a job at West Ham. You know, he's got a lot of upsides to him, but there's also some downsides, and you've got to weigh it up. And some people might think, ultimately, you know, Abraham's not the right fit. You know, so I mean, what do you guys?
I've seen that hasn't he been linked with Villa as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
a club's interested in him, or is it because his contract renewal's coming up and the agent wants to try and push up the?
You say his
money,
contract,
you know.
He's got 2 years left.
Yeah, he's contracted to 2023.
Yeah, but I mean, they normally sort of start negotiating round about now, don't they? You know, when there's a couple of years left to run. Mm-hmm. So is it a case of genuine interest, or is it the agent putting it out there that clubs are interested to try and?
I think that all depends on Chelsea, really. It depends the route Chelsea wants to go down, because obviously Lampard's gone now, and he was their sort of like their sort of link to the past, and you know he was one for bringing through young talent. But there has been times when you know there has been times with Chelsea where you know they. Like the likes of Mason Mount isn't getting a game. You know, Tammy Abraham might not get it. And it all depends on what they do in the transfer window. You know, what direction do they want to take? Do they want to go like, you know, bring some homegrown talent through? Or do they want to, you know, go out and basically buy the league? It all depends where they finish, I believe. And it all depends on what the manager's philosophy is. Because it was obvious that you know, they've got so much homegrown talent there at the minute. Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount, the right back, James, Tammy Abraham. They've got quite a few there at the minute, but they don't all get. I don't think they all get a fair crack at the whip now that Tuchel's in. I think he'd allow some of them to leave. And if I was West Ham, do you know what? I think Mount's a little bit beyond our range. I think there's no chance of getting Mount. I think Mount is you know, I think
it costs silly money.
It costs ridiculous amounts of money. But Tammy Abraham could be within our remit. But it all depends on what they want for him. I wouldn't be paying sort of 40 million quid for him or anything like that.
And I think that's what a minimum you look, because think about it, he's 21 years old. He's got a good goal return. 23, got a good goal return in the Premier League. Obviously, Chelsea don't need to sell him. He's got 2 years left on his deal. They're in a position of strength. So us coming in, like, they're just looking, and if they want to go on and spend big, they might want to bolster their transfer budget.
But it could be one of them points where, you know, they're looking at like a Haaland or like a World Cup, and they want him just out the door, so they create the space. If that was, and they would sort of take 25 million, I'd say, yeah, fucking right.
Apparently, Haaland said he wants to go to a bigger club than Chelsea. That's what I read. But
Haaland should, obviously he's waiting for David Moyes to come in.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the thing is, with Chelsea, say they did get Haaland, yeah, then and they got rid of Abraham. Then they've just got a 35-year-old Giroud as their second option striker.
Yeah, but they've got the option of playing Warner up front as well, won't they? That's
they got Werner, yeah, but he hasn't really hit the ground running, is he? Like,
the thing is, I think you summed it up right. It's where Chelsea finish and where we finish, because Abraham's stock will be higher if Chelsea finish in the Champions League. They're going to need a bigger squad if they finish there. So, you know, chances are he's probably not going to go nowhere. I think it's more on the player as well, on how much he wants to be playing football. Because he could sit at Chelsea on a decent contract, play second or third fiddle to whatever striker they bring in the window, and play every cup game. You know, because they're going to be looking to be in the Champions League. They're going to be looking to compete on the cup front as they seem to try and do. So he'll still get games. It's on his ambition whether he wants to play. You know, if he's got an attitude like Lingard where he wants to be playing week in, week out and play football, then it could be a good signing. You know, his goal scoring record's not bad. I think he's just not so much this season, but he's a goal nearly every other game for Chelsea in first team football. He had a decent loan spell when he was at Villa. I think that was in the Championship when they were down there. You know, so it could be a move. Does it fit the system that Moyes plays at the moment? Question. Maybe, maybe not.
I was chatting to a mate of mine today. Like he's been a Chelsea fan for like 40 odd years, you know, and he doesn't rate him that highly. He said, but he could be a player that could do a job for us. You know.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Moyes does like he's getting the best out of play. You know, he's sort of improving players, getting the best out of them. So
it's another one like Iniacho, weren't it? When Bilic had the chance to sign Iniacho, and he turned around and said that he only feels Iniacho looks good because of the team that he's playing for, because he gets the amount of chances. Does Tammy Abraham get the amount of goals for a side that doesn't create as many chances? You look at his record in the Premier League this season, if I get it back up.
12 and 30, wasn't it?
Yeah. 12 goals in, but that was overall. I think he's only got 6 in 20 Premier League games, and 2 of them were against us.
The thing is, I think it and I'm getting way ahead of myself, but I think the striker you want to look for a club of our ilk, you know, we're not going to go out and sign ready-made strikers like the likes of Haaland or Lukaku or anybody of that ilk. We've got to find someone. We've got to find a gem, and I think that gem may be Simmer. He could become our, you know, like Everton with Lukaku. Yeah, he didn't stay at Everton. He obviously went on to Man United, but he got, you know, they got a 30 goal a year striker or 20 goal a year striker because they didn't discover Lukaku. He was at Chelsea, but you know, they took him off their hands. They took a gamble. I think that's the way we're going to get a striker. If we can get a top level striker, we can find someone. You know, get us some scouts out there having a look around. You know, I wouldn't go for Abraham. I don't think, like, as I said, if it's cheap enough, I would. Because we don't need one striker. We need 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would, like you said, Nick, don't want to be spending 30, 40 mil.
No, I wouldn't blow the budget on him.
Yeah, because don't forget, we've got to spend probably about 20 million on Lingard, you know, is what we're looking at.
See, I think that's bargain of the fucking century. For Lingard. I think that's ridiculous. And if you found a striker that complemented him, and then you've got the likes of Antonio, Bowen, you know, Ben Rama floating around him, I think we can have a really good attack on top of a really good defence. But it's finding that you know, someone, you know, it's like Ings, you know, Ings at Liverpool. He was a good striker at Burnley. He had a bad injury. That's how Southampton picked him up for so cheap. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to find someone that's gonna, you know, churn them things out. And I just don't see Tammy Abraham being it. I could be wrong. Somebody said up there, I had the thingy up. Select Torres says Tammy will be another Colton Cole. And that's the problem. I just think, you know, it's a risk. Elbow.
Yeah, he wants 80 grand, didn't he?
80 grand a week.
Now, for that sort of money, I'd rather monitor the Southampton situation of how they end up doing this season and go for Danny Ings, because you've got more of his goal scoring record is a lot better than Tammy Abraham's, you know, and then you still free up yourself a bit of finances to go and steal someone either from the lower leagues or from Europe. You know,
at the end of the day, it all depends on where we finish. For a start, you get in the Champions League, like, and you know, I think this is fucking mental that we're talking about it, to be quite honest with you. But you know, you get in the Champions League. You know, the next 5 games are pivotal for us, because in the next 5 games we've got Leeds tomorrow that'll put us back to the top 4. But by the end of the weekend, we could be 9th, right? If the results don't go our way. But you beat Leeds again, we get back to the top 4, yeah, or up and around there, right? And then we've got the likes of Manchester United, Leicester, Chelsea. I think Everton's one that's coming up, and
Arsenal as well.
Arsenal coming up, and I think them 5 games are going to really determine where we're going to be at the end of the season. Because then you get into the arse end of the season. If you can come out that with a few points, then you can really start to think about it. Like, you know, we've all been having a laugh and a joke, and you know, we was on the thing the other day, and we was playing the Champions League music. Look, we're not expecting to get in the Champions League. Like, you know, I think it's a bit of a step too far, and I think, you know, regardless of what happens now, we've had a good season. Yeah. But it all depends on where we are at the end of the season, because you know, it could be a possibility. You never know. It could happen, right? And if we got there, right, we don't want to do what Everton done, is that fight a really hard battle to get 4th, and then go out in the qualifier before you get the big boys. Get to the group stages, that's where the fucking dough is, and then you can start thinking about spending the money and you know, attracting players and the likes of Danny Ings. Come to us, give us a season. You're playing the Champions League this year. If it don't work out, we'll see. You know what I mean?
No, you know that they're starting identifying players and getting that prepared now, and starting some of them rather than. And they probably have they should. Well, I know Moyes probably is. I mean, if we look at it, apparently he's come up as a potential target.
Is it just me who's hearing Dan really slow?
He's gone credit card. You got it.
Dan's like,
let's take some comments with Dan towards his fucking microphone. Elbow 73 says wages too high. Steve WHU Bell says Abraham's not for me, boys. No problem at all. Not sure about Tommy. Tommy.
Let's go back to the list, Harry.
Jury is out for me. Ryan, who's not with us tonight, says raise a glass to Glen Road. Absolutely, we'll be talking about that in a second, I'm sure. The boy won a World Cup. Sign him up. I don't know who he's talking about.
I think he's talking about Abraham, isn't it? He's talking about the Youth World Cup.
Oh, Youth World Cup. Come on.
The problem is he does miss a lot of chances.
An international tournament, you know. It's...
But that's the thing. It all depends where we are. As you said, we've got a tough run of fixtures coming up, and our last 5 fixtures are all winnable games. So you got to keep yourself in the mix in that.
Mark Freeman says Graham is sexy. Select Torres says if Villa want him, then we don't. We're 6th.
Oh, no. You've missed a super chat here, Nick. I wonder if you've done that intentionally because of the nature of the super chat.
I can't see it. You get it up.
Bring back LA from Kane Lake.
Refund.
You know what? I completely forgot we should even have added that. But he did have a TalkSport interview where he said some lovely things about West Ham and hopes we get Champions League, and regrets, that he couldn't have, lived up to the price tag, and said that Declan Rice is potentially world class. Said some lovely things.
Let's get a few more comments and then we'll get onto that, right? Stuart Ling says wages permitting, I'll take Tammy, to be honest, as long as he ain't taking a piss. Obviously, if he proves himself, then up accordingly. Yeah, the thing is, this is what I would start looking for a player. I would go for if we got to sort of like in and around European places, yeah, go for players that take a low basic but a higher bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you fucking weed out the people that don't want to play for you from the people that do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ollie Shrebsoul says he isn't good enough to be our number one striker. What's the point of signing a bench warmer? We need someone pushing Antonio. Lots of people saying rest in peace, Glenn. Yeah, that is sad. We'll talk about that quickly. Obviously, just before we get onto the Haller subject, Glenn Roeder passed. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and tickle anyone's bollocks and turn around and say I was his biggest fan, because I wasn't. In fact, when he was here, I fucking hounded him. I hated him as a manager, to be honest with you.
We finished 7th in his first season, though.
We did, mate. We did finish 7th.
Hold up. We finished 7th with Harry Redknapp's team. All right, don't.
And then he wasn't back the following season. Let's not get too negative. I'm just saying. I wasn't the biggest. I'm praising him. I thought he done okay under difficult circumstances.
He was a great coach, terrible manager.
We did get relegated, with the highest points tally. So it was unlucky. It was unlucky, really. But yeah, it's
very, very sad. Apparently, like from what I've heard over the last few years, like his downfall wasn't that he was a bad manager. Apparently, he was getting the piss taken out of him because he was too nice as a manager, and I can see that. David James, I see an interview with David James saying it was a tough dressing room that he was trying to manage, and he was
a lot of big egos.
Too nice a guy, but it is what it is. But just respect to Glenn Roeder, because everyone deserves respect. If you've been the manager of our club, if you've donned our colours, in the end, inevitably you are one of us. So I'll give that. Except for Paul Ince, he can fuck off. But
wow.
No condolences to his family and his friends, and
absolutely.
Talks with them and that,
All right. So Dan, what's the next one? You get to pick one.
Well, you wanted to.
No, you can.
No. I'm saying no. We said just before, didn't we? We'd get on to the Haller on TalkSport, didn't we? So, as following off on the back of the super chat, as I mentioned, he was on TalkSport. Jim White, which I think they brought him on hoping that he would slate us.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why they've brought him on, and he's come on and done the opposite. He's only said good things and wished that we would get in the Champions League, and regretted that it didn't work out, and that he felt like he had unfinished business, and said nice. He said big interesting thing is he said Declan is one of two players that is potentially is like, well, I can't remember if he said Declan is world class, but he said he's one of two players that was just is really good at the club. And I was wondering who the other player he was mentioning was. But yeah, I thought it was a nice interview, and it showed his class when they obviously wanted him to slate us.
Yeah, to get the old switchboard going.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Honestly.
And that's the thing. It's just, it shows that, he's a decent guy. He's left for footballing reasons. That's, he is right. He had a tough price tag. That's what done him. It was the price tag. The expectation on that price tag bringing him in is what potentially destroyed his career at the club. I know he wanted out by the end of it, but fair enough.
It can be really difficult, can't it? It's like when Torres went to Chelsea and he was the record fee, and that had a lot of pressure, and Andy Carroll. Yeah.
That's it.
Because they expect you to be, you have to be, banging them in all the time straight away. And
a club like ours paying 42 million for a player, you're expecting a goal every single game, or if not more. Because we don't
at least every other game.
Yeah. So it's this is Ryan's comment. He doesn't like sitting there in. Yeah, fuck him. And he's fucking TalkSport interview. He looks
go on,
like
Nick, go on.
No, come on.
Look, I reiterate what I say. Nice things to say. Do I think he means them? Not really. No
need to say them then.
Typical trained.
Yeah, but Yeah, but
I'm not having all this. Oh, I hope they do really well. If you hope they do really well, why don't you put more fucking effort in when he was here? He played for us. He could have been part of this journey. The cunt couldn't wait to get to Amsterdam. I don't care what anybody says. It's all media trained. I know what to say. Don't piss anyone off. Blah blah blah. You know, come out a bit the bigger man. I don't believe a word of it. He couldn't wait to get out the door, man. If he cared that much, put your fucking money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is, and fucking and adapt your play.
It's not that simple, Nicky. It's not that simple.
Yeah, I didn't say he cared. I'm just saying it just shows a bit.
I tell you what, I was watching an interview with Tony Cottee yesterday on Free in Midfield's channel, and he said something was very interesting. He talked about football movement, yeah. And it made me think of Allaire. He said football movement isn't always about running. He said sometimes it's walking or it's standing still. You know, a lot of fans tend to think if you're not running, you're not showing effort, you're not showing commitment. But a lot of players and Cottee was like that. It was times where you just had to walk around and wait for your moment and find the opening.
Of course, you have to pick your times.
But a lot of our fans go, "He's not running. He's lazy."
No, it's not that.
But when the fucking ball is fucking 5 yards away from him, he hasn't controlled it, and then he gives up on it. That's not. And then running after it when it's fucking the defender's got it. It's like
Thank you, Andrew McDonald.
What Cottee was getting at is that, especially as a striker, you're just slowly moving around because you're trying to see which defenders are switched on and which ones are switched off, so that you know if that ball gets played at that time or the play gets broken up, there's an opportunity there just by you just walking. You know, you just drift off the shoulder of the centre half or drift towards the full back and see, and it's working out who's switched on. That's what you're getting at. You don't always have to be running at 90 miles an hour, you know, try and bust in the gut all the time. It's your movement in the
But a lot of fans think that you do have to do that, and you have to be running back and forth and always doing defensive work and getting stuck in, or you're lazy. And that, I think that is a perception.
I've seen people on the internet, and I won't fucking say who they are because I don't want to give them, but he's Polish, right? I've seen people on the internet that slag Antonio off, but back Haller to the hill. Well, I mean, like, I just, he didn't fit the system. He wasn't going to fit into the system, right?
Yeah, well, there you go, then, isn't it? That's
we have to stop all this nonsense. Like, let's look at what he did. Look at what he did. Look what everyone else is doing. Look how much better we've been without him. That's all I would say, and that's without fucking centre forward.
Nick, but you're singling at him. How many strikers have we had that just haven't worked?
Oh, they're all cunts, Dan. I ain't got a good word to say about fucking 99% of the strikers. I like the ones I like. I don't like the ones I don't like. And he was. I thought. I still stand by my comment. I think he's one of the worst I've ever seen for price. But listen, hold on. Let me for price paid. And what you get for the money, I'm sorry.
Again, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not his fault that we've paid that price. That's our fault. It's nothing to do with him. Yeah. He's just gone and played his game. He just went and played his game in Germany.
I didn't say it was his fault.
Yeah, but you're holding it against him.
I did. Yeah, because he didn't try hard enough.
But the thing is, because as we're talking about the actual interview, on the what do you call it, media train thing, he has no reason to go on TalkSport just to say nice things. It was a perfect opportunity for him to stick the boot in. They wanted him to stick the boot in. He would have got more attention. And wait, one thing, it would have looked better on him if he would have made excuses and said they didn't want to play to my strengths. They didn't want to do this. It would have, because he could have given himself a way out. He could have given himself an excuse, but he didn't.
It's always about the next move. You start.
It's already at the move. What do you mean?
He's going to start Ajax for the rest of his career.
But you don't know, do you? Oh, so according to you, he's not good enough. So that's his level, apparently. That's his level.
Dad and Nick having a rare again.
So, but where's he? If that's his level, what's the next move then? Like, I just think that's cynical.
To a good level in Germany. This is what I'm saying. It's always about the next move. If you start slagging off your ex-club, the next club.
But everyone does it. Really? Everyone does it. Look at Arnautovic with Stoke.
It's finished. Look at Stoke. It's coming to an end. Huh?
Wilshere, he slagged us off to the hills.
So is his career coming to it? His career should have ended fucking 5 years ago.
But I'm saying players do it. Like he could have still politically. He didn't have to not say slag us off, but he could have politically put across that. Yeah, I wasn't given a fair chance, or I wasn't this without slagging us off, but actually put his side across and tried to defend himself at our respect.
I wasn't given a fair chance. He's a fucking. He make himself look like a prat.
They fucking...
And it's not just me saying it, mate. You've got centre forwards from that played for the club that have a good level centre forward saying that he's just, he's shit. They was all saying it.
You've got good level centre forwards that have backed him and said that he just didn't fit. I watched fucking Cotty was talking about him last night. Said he just weren't a good fit. He just didn't work out, and it was difficult on the price tag.
I've seen John Hartson. I've seen Dean Ashton. I've seen people like that. Saying,
the thing is, Nick, I just think you take it personally. Like, say when you get like Clary, right? Clary was shocking.
I feel like people like that take the piss out of the club. You pay them a lot of money. They cost you a lot of money, and I think they take the piss.
So wait a minute, Nick. He was at Frankfurt and he was interested. He was up for it. He was pumped. He had desire. He comes to West Ham, not interested. Goes to Ajax, interested. You're saying that for some reason, just West Ham, he weren't interested. No,
it was never a right fit for him. But if he didn't want to be here, he shouldn't have signed for the club.
What do you mean didn't want to be here?
Hang on, no. The thing is, it wasn't a fit. It was a fit for him at the time when he was signed. That's the difference.
Was it?
Yeah, of course it was.
Oh, maybe.
However,
the way he landed here, however he got here, right? Yeah. When he left, he wasn't trying.
No, because he wanted to. That's it. But we know that we're not saying he wasn't trying as much as he could have done.
All the time he's trying. He says I'm looking at the wrong thing. He thinks I don't know what I'm looking about.
No, but the thing is, Nick, right? You're obviously going by what you think that you see. You're not in someone's head. You don't feel their. Look at Ogbonna, right? You slated Ogbonna to the hills. You wanted him out. He was useless. Didn't put any effort in. What comes out? Oh, he's playing with an injury. Needs surgery. Goes off and have surgery. He's fucking praised to the hills. What I'm saying is, we always think we know the full story and we know what's going on with it, but you just don't.
You can never know exactly what's going on.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why. That's why I never fully will go in on a player like that unless they've never showed fucking anything anywhere. Like when we got what was his name? Fucking Hugill, right? Hugill had a poor record before he came to us. He came to us, and a few games that he played, he didn't look up to it. And then he's doing an okay job in the Championship, but then you sort of go, okay, that's his level. Like it was never any point.
Some people are just not like. We'll leave it at this because the other boys have got to get involved, and I could sit here arguing about this prick all night. Like some people are just not cut out, and the thing is, he was just not cut out for the Premier League. Yeah. But you don't get cut out for the Premier League by not trying. There are some of the best strikers in the world that have come here that haven't cut it in the Premier League. People like Andrei Shevchenko, people like Hernan Crespo come here in the primes of their careers and they fuck it. Fernando Torres when he went to Chelsea, he done it early, but he couldn't fucking cut it when he got to that age in the Premier League. There are some of the top strikers.
But why didn't he cut it? There's different reasons, Nick. Is what I'm saying. Sometimes you go to the team, you're just not a fit for that team.
Just not a fit.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean,
I just think
you get it with managers as well. Some players, some managers just have fit certain clubs.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
look at going back early 90s, Mike Walker when he was manager of Norwich, got him into UEFA Cup and everything, like nearly won the league with them. Went to Everton, didn't do anything. So it's like certain players or managers just fit certain clubs and their style, and it obviously didn't fit us.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but exactly, that's just how it goes sometimes. We don't need to be bitter. It's just it didn't work out. Right. Move on. Caleri was awful, wasn't he? But I don't hold it against Caleri. I don't sit here and go, that fucking Caleri, useless prick. Fuck him. I'm like, he didn't work out. Good luck to him for the rest of his career.
I think we need a mediator.
Scott, do you feel like it's like two kids watching mum and dad argue at the dinner table?
What's happening, boy?
Positive.
Oh god,
Dan's talking shit again, and I'm telling him about himself.
Nah, listen, positive Pats. I'm being positive, right? Positive Pats come to put you in your place. Fucking negative fucking
Negative Nicky.
negative Nick. Yeah, negative Nick. You had nasty Nick. We got negative Nick.
Hey, you know what? I'm gutted I can't log on, but my broadband's fucked. But I'm using my phone internet. I'm coming here for 30 seconds to say, look, get on the phone. Fuck Haller. Leave Haller. Fuck him. He's gone.
I don't know. You sound different, Pat.
I'm enjoying it, though. I'm watching it. So I'm going to crack on and let you get on. But be nice to each other. It's a positive Friday. Graham.
Yes, mate.
I love that Barnet, mate. You look like a young David Unsworth. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
See you later, mate.
We thought we might as well, on that, read this super chat from Sam. And thank you to Andrew as well for the $25 as well. Yeah, previously
Thank you very much.
on that. I definitely think it was Andrew. Yeah, Andrew McDonald. Happy Friday, gents from Texas. So Sam says, evening lads, hope you're good. Do you think our current squad, including academy starlets, is strong enough for the Champions League? £10. Cheers, Sam.
Nah, of course not.
No.
There's quite a few additions there. I think Balbuena's on his way out, isn't he? So,
do you know what? I think full strength, no injuries, we could.
We'll hold our own against some of the mid, poorer to mid teams, but you start to get,
if you get to the buy-ins, you're getting slapped.
Yeah,
the thing is, mate, if you get into the Champions League, you need some serious investment. To compete in that,
I'll be honest, I don't think us getting into the Champions League would be good for the club.
Brilliant.
No, not going into the Champions League. What I'm saying is it'd be brilliant for the club in the sense of qualifying for the Champions League, but I think it would be one step too far with this current regime.
Yeah, hopefully it's the end of the Champions League and they fuck up. They decide this is
what I'm saying is you say we finish fourth, right? We get into the qualifiers. We have got a thin squad as it is. So you're already saying Balbuena looks like he's on his way out. You've got the other centre half that we signed, the young lad who they're looking to bring in for next season. But you look at the depth of that squad to be playing in the Champions League as well as competing in the Premier League. What's
the difference between that and the Europa League, Scott? I'd rather be in the Champions League.
I'd rather be in the Champions League. But even the Europa League, you've got to think we have got probably 18 players tops that are experienced and good enough to be competing first team level at the moment. You've just got to look at the amount of times we've had youngsters on the bench who are unproven. You're going to take that 18-man squad and compete in Europe because let's be honest. Like you said, if we finish fourth, we go into the qualifiers. You can't put all your eggs in one basket and hope that we're going to get through the qualifiers because our record at getting out of through the Europa League qualifiers was atrocious. So what do? Do you gamble and you go and spend big money to bring in players, hoping you get through them qualifiers of the Champions League to get into the group stages, or do you know what I mean? I just think it's just one step.
Do you know what I think we do, Scott? Do you know what I think the solution is? And I know what you're saying. Obviously, the worry about the spend.
You go straight into the groups.
Oh, what, you look from fourth place?
People saying.
Oh well, if that's true, then that's good. But I tell you what, there's one of the solutions. If we got into the Championship group stages, if I was Moyes, I would just play youngsters in the Carabao, right? Because and prioritize as going as far, because the further we go in the Champions League, the more money that we get, the more prestige we get. And I think it's important to go in the Champions League because if we've got players like Declan Rice, that's where his ambition lies. Mm-hmm. So if we can fulfill that ambition, it's going to make him want to stay at the club.
But that's the problem. Like you said, you've got 18 what I would say are first team regulars, 18 first team players. You're going into a competition with Europe's elite, and you've no offense, but look at our goalkeeper situation. Mm-hmm. Fabianski's now picking up an injury a season. You've got Randolph. You've got Martin, who's nearing the end of his career. You need another goalkeeper, a top quality goalkeeper. We've got one striker who technically isn't really a striker. This is the problem. You've got the investment needed to be able to compete, even against the lower to mid sides in that competition. is going to be massive, and I just can't see it. I hope I'm wrong. If we get fourth and we get through it, I hope I am wrong, but I just think it's just one of them running before you can walk scenarios.
I think we need that investment anyway.
Yeah,
you think a lot of the teams that compete regularly in the Champions League, their squads are built towards the Champions League, to qualifying for the Champions League. We would be building a squad after the fact if we did get in.
I don't think we're getting.
So you're sort of trying to rush a squad together.
What about Leicester?
At the top level.
Leicester, obviously. What about Leicester? Because they went from relegation. Obviously, they went and won the league. They got rid of. They sold Mahrez, didn't they, to Man City? And
then really straight away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Didn't they go that season?
Hang on, sorry. I'm not saying I wouldn't want us to finish second. I'm not saying I wouldn't want us to finish fourth. What I'm saying is I don't think we're cut out to compete in that competition and compete in the Premier League. So it's not about.
The thing is,
listen. Wait. It's all depend. Look, we're counting our chickens before we hatch. We get to that when we get there.
Yeah. No, to be honest, mate, I don't think we'll finish top four. I think the squad's too thin to get top four. But if we could qualify Europa, it's a stepping stone, isn't it?
Hang on, you sit there and say that. You look at Leicester's squad when they won the league. Their squad was too thin to qualify for the Champions League. Their squad was too thin to win the Europa League, but they did it. We're not out of the race yet. So as much as league. Say again, Sid?
Sorry, Leicester didn't win Europa League.
I didn't say Leicester won Europa League. I said Leicester
won when they won the Europa League.
No, and then
when they won the Europa League.
I did. I said when they won the league.
Oh, Scott, you said it. Do you want me to rewind it? It's a fucking video, man. Fuck.
Anyway,
I don't think it's counting your chickens.
They said his squad wasn't big enough. There's no reason with us why we can't finish in the top four. On form, we're the second best in the league at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Absolutely. It all depends on.
I just think to maintain the levels that we're producing at the moment, we need a lot. Like if you're going to compete in the Premier League and try and qualify again, like if you get into Europe and qualify again next year, to compete in the Premier League and compete in Europe at the same time, you're going to need a lot more than 2 or 3 signings. You're going to need 7, 8.
Yeah, but so are we talking about
signings as well?
Are you saying then? Are we talking about then? It'd be better not to qualify for the Champions League to try and qualify for the Champions League next season.
No.
You finish second, first, whatever. Finish your
Yeah.
You're trying to start.
No,
you're starting if you're a new Scott. You working for them or what?
No, I'm just saying. The point I'm trying to get is it would be a great thing for the club to get into the Champions League without fail, but I don't think we're ready for that step.
But then saying that if you get in there, the money you make from that then allows you to bolster the squad, so you can push again for the next season.
The prestige as well, and attracting players, and it raises the club's sort of perception in a lot of players' eyes, and the prestige, and going like West Ham's going somewhere, there's a project, and it would push us on massively. Yes, we might suffer the next season because I don't think we get relegated, but okay, we might not finish in the European spots, but a good run in the Champions League could then go and give us a bit of money to push on the following season, as long as we're up there.
What's the point? What's the point then of going into the Champions League to have a good run in the Champions League and then finish bottom half of the table? There's no progression there.
No, but
competing in the Champions League, but then you've took a massive stride forward qualifying for the Champions League, getting into the Champions League group stages, and you go into the next season, you make it beyond the group stage, but then get knocked out, and then you're fighting a relegation battle the season for the rest of that season.
Well, I don't know about relegation battle, but you've got to be in it. You've got to be in it to win it, Scott.
Yeah, you have got to be in it to win it. But the problem is that you can't. You want to build a bit of stability. You want to step forward, and then when you're forward, you don't want to be stepping back. So for us to qualify for the Champions League is brilliant, but for us to compete in that and also have a squad big enough to compete in the league.
When you take that, even finishing bottom half, right? And I can't believe we're talking about this, to be honest with you. I think it's mental, right? But wouldn't you take that to watch West Ham Wednesday night, over at the London Stadium, walking out to that Champions League music? You're playing Barcelona, you're seeing, not Barcelona, because they're going to go to the shits, I think, but someone like Bayern or Real Madrid are playing us in a competitive game, not one of these ones where they turn up like Juventus did that year, to say, oh, well done, you've got a nice stadium now, let's see what you can do with it. But in a competitive game, and we've seen like the likes of like Spurs. Yeah, Spurs. I think Spurs are, have been a level above us for quite a while in terms of competing with the big, But if they've seen them like beat Real Madrid and things like that, you won't want to sit there and you'd rather finish 8th because we're not ready for that. We may never be ready for it ever.
Never said I want to see us finish 8th. But never said that.
No, I know what you're saying, Scott. But the thing
is, what I'm saying is that the amount of overhaul that we would need to be able to compete on both levels is way beyond what our reach is.
But why, Scott? Because if you think about it, look at the last season at Upton Park. Look how far we went in the FA Cup. All we have to do if we're in the Champions League, prioritise the Champions League over the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, because we can come back to the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup every year. We're always going to get another shot at that. So for that season, we're in the Champions League. You just don't play a full strength in at least the early stages of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, unless you get later on and focus like Premier League, Champions League. That's your main priorities. Ease up on the Carabao and FA Cup.
This is a good shout. We're going to take some comments. Anas Ahmed says you guys should react to the post-match pint after the Newcastle game. That would be actually a decent shout, to be honest with you, at the end of the season.
Do you know what?
Relegation battle.
I'm dreading. I've been thinking about it. When we do our reactions to our season predictions, like at the end of the season, I'm dreading that because we was on a complete downer at the time. So that's
what? I don't think I was that bad. I think I went middle of the road. I'm pretty sure I went middle of the road.
I think I said about 14th or something, 13th, 14th.
I don't think you was on that, Graham, was you? It was just me, Scott, and...
I think I was on that one.
No, we met in the park, in Nicky's house, who was in the park.
If we did make... we'll take one from our old pal before we take some... actually, let's take some comments on that, and then we'll come back to that question. Let's take some comments from the guys. Select Torres says, why would we be lower down the league? Because we was in the Champions League. Ben Evans says, we didn't have much faith going into this season. What's to say we can't go far in the Champions League? Dean Anderson says, lads, if we get into the Champions League, profiles will go up and hopefully someone will come in with loads of money and buy GSB out. I don't feel safe with Nicky waving scissors around, says
especially when talking about LA.
Elliot Van Val says, Scott has hit the nail on the head, to be honest. It was great class to be Champions League, but with our board, it won't last long and they don't give a damn about the club. Stevie WHU Bell says, there.
William Scissors.
Frank J says, if we're not ready, then we go out. That's still better than not having a try. There's some mixed opinions here. People can see where
Scott is not saying he doesn't want us to get in the Champions League or Europe for that matter. But if we do, it's going to take a lot of investment.
I feel like you're sitting on the
two levels
fence a little bit, Scott, because I need to understand, right? So you're saying that you don't think, right, if we went in the Champions League, our Premier League form would suffer and we're not ready. So on that grounds, are you saying that we would be better off not qualifying for the Champions League?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the overhaul that's needed.
He said it would be great for us to get in there, but it will take a lot of investment to compete in the Premier League and Europe.
You need
to be able to maintain.
All right,
you can't sit there, right? And the thing is, as much as it probably won't happen, but you've seen the likes of Burnley when they've been in the Europa League struggle, right? And start the season really badly, and then they finish good, and then they've started again this season badly, and they're struggling. This is, you can see us doing
different.
but are they at the moment?
I think in terms of the squad, I think Sean Dyche has worked miracles with that. He's had, like, we think we've had no investment. They've really had no investment. You know what I mean?
But Moyes is working miracles with this squad we got now. No one saw this squad at the start of the season being where it is in the position it is now. There's no difference there. But it's, as I said, it's the overhaul that's needed. It ain't going to happen. And getting Champions League is a brilliant thing for our club. It's massive, but it could come at a big cost if the overhaul's not done in the right way.
So, let's read.
So, Ryan said, if we did make the Champions League and the ball back Moyes in the summer, would your opinions on the ball change a bit, and would you give them another chance? I'll tell you where I am on this. Look, for me, they have had absolutely nothing to do with this season because they haven't backed him. They haven't backed him to do anything that he hasn't already done. They've spent no money. Everything that we've invested has been clawed back for other means. It's been down to David Moyes to strip the club, strip the squad, and then purchase with the money that he's got, which is fine. It's the way some clubs have to run. It wasn't the way they told us our club would have to run after we moved to the London Stadium. Now the problem is with them. It's a bit like a domestically abused person, you know. Would I let them clump me about for 4 years, and if they stopped for a couple of days, forgive them? No, I wouldn't, because I don't think they've ever had our intentions and our success. I don't think they've ever had the club's success. From the bottom of their heart, I think from day number one when they got here, and I always said this was fine as long as they left the team in a good position and in good stead when they left. It's fine. They picked us up from the floor. Let's be fair, we was going underneath, but I don't think the intentions were ever pure enough. To be honest, I don't think the intentions were pure. They saw that Olympic Stadium coming to London, and they saw pound signs in their eyeballs, and it panned out in a little bit of a different way than I think it panned out itself. But I don't think the intention was ever pure. But I always said, as long as they sort of kept the club, ticking over, and when we did eventually move to that London Stadium, give us a little, push us up the league and start building the foundations to become successful. Then I said it's fine. They didn't do that. They everything that we've spent is basically they sold season tickets. They sold 60,000 season tickets on the basis that we was going to go out and start competing for transfers with like some Man United, Arsenal, and everything else. And in the crux of things, when you look back at what we've spent, our net investments over the last 4 or 5 years, I'm not talking about the summer where we went and spent 100 million or whatever, but if you look at our net investments over the last 4 or 5 years, they're no different to when we was at Upton Park, so that was a total lie. I'll tell you what is the best thing to get the fans' respect back, right? To get the fact, and they've got a perfect opportunity here. And I tell you, I heard. I can't say anything because I promised a friend of mine I wouldn't say anything. But I heard some pretty damning statistics or news about the potential takeover. You remember when the guy was saying there was potential takeovers? Well, apparently there was potential takeovers on the cards, and people were very interested, but they priced them out of a move with a ridiculous amount of money. A ridiculous amount of money that they asked for the club, which was, I wouldn't say he watches his show, so I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to dab him in with anything, but it was a ridiculous amount of money. I would respect them more now, and the only way they can win me round is if they got into the Champions League by hook or by crook this year, and they said, you know what, this is going to be successful. This is your best chance for success. I'm stepping back. We'll take, a reasonable amount for the club. We'll let an investor come in and we'll let them get you ready now for the Champions League next year. That is the only way they would ever win any ounce of my respect or anything like that ever again. Look, we're not in this position because of the board. If we were, fair play, but we're not. We're in this position in spite of the board. And the only way they could get my respect back, they will never have my respect for as long, because I can see what they was doing from day one. The only way they would ever get my respect back now is if they step back from the club and say, you know, we got it wrong. You know, we apologise. You know, even if they said it weren't lies and it was misjudgments, but we can't take this club any further. I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to waste your time. We didn't mean to put you all through this. I'm so sorry. We will now give the club or pass into people that, you know, not like what they done to Birmingham, sold it to some fucking thief that ended up in prison and took them down. I mean, actually do their due diligence for once in their fucking lives and leave us in a position where we can go on and we can spend money and we can do that. That is the only way they will get an ounce of my respect back. But why the guy is still sitting there, lining his pockets and doing these fucking hooky deals with the hooky agents, trying to find people like he's fucking browsing for players around Dagenham Market, he will never have my respect. And I'll never, ever, ever, for the life of me, I would never respect the man again, and he would never change my mind.
Well, you got him started off now, Ryan, on his favourite subject. I would just say this. I agree with Nicky, like, to any redemption would have to be from a sale. But obviously, to answer Ryan's question, for me, to have any sort of turnaround or me to see that things are changing with the board, I'd have to see improvement over a few seasons, not just, you know, one good season and then them splashing a bit of cash willy-nilly next season. I need to see us start to stabilise and push on, not necessarily back-to-back Champions League appearances, but back-to-back top half finishes and actually looking good and consistency from season to season. That's what I want to see, for me to see that we're going in the right direction.
Do you know what I'd settle for? It's not new. It's not unique to this board. It's been West Ham boards all down the years. We have one good season every 6 or 7, and then we don't back it up, like the manager doesn't get back the following year to build on that. So I would settle for a good season and then back it the next season so we can try and build on that and have another good season. Because once you've had a few consecutive good seasons, then you're more likely to attract the bigger name players.
Consistency, that's the only way.
So that's what I'd settle for. Actually following up a good season by backing the next one and trying to improve on that, rather than just going, we've done all right last year.
Fine. If you want any more questions, put some bloody super chats in, you tight bastard.
If we actually got Champions League, it'd probably be one of the only things that David Gold was right about.
He did say that we'd get it about fucking like
5
years ago, in 5 years, wasn't it, or something? So
I'm sure I said something like that in a post-match pint back when we were sitting in the clubhouse. By 2020 or 2022, we'll be in the Champions League. So,
let's not get. There's still a lot of football to be played.
Scott, let's go back and see the date, the year that you said, and then see if we qualify. But Scott, we knew he was a plant. We knew he was a board plant all this time, Scott. Typical. So Josh Brooks White says, "Are you boys?" For that super chat, cheers, Josh. Are you boys going back to games next season if we can? Anyway, if it's like back to normal, just normal football, I will go. If it's not the normal experience, I have no interest. Like, I want it to be like the proper football experience. I don't want any distancing or reduced capacity. I don't. If it's like, you have to. The process of getting into the ground is a pain in the ass, and there's all these checks, and I just want it to be the normal football experience.
Hang on, Dan, hold up, mate. That's a normal match day for us anyway.
I'm
into the ground. That's normal.
No, but that's what I'm saying is it's bad enough as it is already. So imagine if it's even worse. Like, with the whole, they have to do extra processes.
We said this before. There's no point going back unless you can go back and you have. It's normal. I'm not standing in the stadium wearing a mask for 90 odd minutes. Pointless waste of time. I'm out in the open now. I ain't doing that. I'd rather not go. I want to be going there. I want to be meeting up with you guys. If you turn up on time, having a drink.
Little dig there, Scott. Little dig. Who was that aimed at?
Do you know what I mean? It's that's what you want. You want to go there. You want to chat to your mates who you see. You want to be able to celebrate properly, not stand there clapping and being 5 or 6 seats away from the person next to you. It's pointless.
For years, mate, they can't even control people sitting in their own seats. How the fuck are they going to keep people socially?
Yeah, but they're going to. It will just be if you don't do it, then you won't.
Out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it'll be.
But then it's going to end up in a load of punch-ups, isn't it? Because you're going to. Have you ever seen at a football game? God's honest truth, right? Have you ever seen an argument break out between stewards and a fan, and they go, right, get out, and the fan go, all right, fair enough. Have you ever seen that?
It'll be 16-17 season all over again, won't it?
Yeah, it'll be it'll be punching each other's faces in, man. All
they'll do is they'll have a game where if things like that happen, you go, you know what, we can't control people, so we're shutting half years out.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I want it to go. So someone said you've missed the start of the show, Scott, where we talked about Tammy Abraham. Go and rewind it. Start from the beginning. You know, we ain't talked about Souceck. You know, Souceck. Barcelona apparently interested in signing Souceck for 28 fucking million.
This will be a quick one.
Wait, 1 minute. Let's take some comments from the last subject because it's we've got to get everyone involved, haven't we? Everyone's got to have their say. You can say back Moyes, but you could say they backed Pellegrini and look what happened. They're invested into players who are not up to it. Robert Finesse says, well said, Nicky, agree. Barry Wett said, we got midfielders on the bench, need to sell Yarma, Anderson after loan, and Lenzini is not himself anymore. Did I really believe the spin, says Luke Legend, about the selling the club? I can tell you now that I've been told by someone that I trust that they were willing to sell, but they asked for too much money. And someone said 700 million. If it was 700 million, they may have sold, but you know they may have bought, but it wasn't 700 million. It was more than 700 million that they wanted, which is ridiculous.
And that's believable because you've only got to look at what Brady said. Brady said way back when this club will be a billion pound net worth club.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Todd Stevens and Brady have never been about running a football club. They're just about making money. Jury's still out on Gold. Gold sits here and lets them do it. So he's one we're going to have a say. Stephanie Goodridge says, let's not forget this has all happened by accident. David Moyes was reappointed after once being told he wasn't good enough. Credit only goes to Moyes and the backroom staff. Ryan J says season ticket prices frozen, announced today, but they still haven't given refunds from these games. I'm 3 games behind. I will be 4 on Monday night. Scott, you got some experience in that. You got a season ticket. Are you getting your refunds?
Do you know what, mate? I haven't checked my account for a while. So from what I understand, they refund.
You've probably been getting tickets. You're probably the only one getting charged for the tickets.
No, they refund 30 days after the game. So if you haven't had a refund of a game that was played 30 days previous, then you need to be ringing the club up and asking where your money is. But that's what I'm sure that's what they were saying they were doing. I'll look into it and find out.
There's no way they're turning Champions League money down. They would stay because there's more dollar. Phil's Andy Man says, I 100% agree with Nick. You're right. We'll go to the questions a bit later on. Dan's we'll start the subject.
Yes, Souceck. Barcelona apparently want him for 28 million quid, and that would tell you the state that Barcelona are in. Apparently, they're in real financial trouble. Actually,
mate, they couldn't give us 28 pence.
No,
for what the situation they're in at the moment. It's ridiculous the debt that they're allowed to get in.
I don't know how someone could be a club that big can be allowed to get into that much debt.
I'll be honest, man, I don't know how a club is allowed to get in that much debt.
Yeah, but especially a club that big, they're a massive club and they're in that much debt. I don't know how it's been allowed to happen.
I wouldn't sell him for twice the price, Souceck.
Honestly,
I wouldn't sell him for twice the price.
To be honest, that
28
price tag, or that not price tag, sorry, that offer is an insult to Souceck.
Yeah, it's an insult to everybody. Yeah, it's basically. I mean, look, we don't know whether it's true, but if it is true, just say, you know, it is true, and they're going to offer 20. it's an insult to us because they're basically saying, look, you know, if we want him for £26 million, we're taking him for 26 million. They ain't taking him for jack shit. Them motherfuckers are in debt. Let's sell Vidal for less than £1 million quid because they fucking put some scratch in their pockets.
But is that? But saying that though, Nick, is that any different to us? Going like someone going like in the past when we've got old players are worth like 30 million, we go, I'll give you 20. Is that any different?
No, not really. It's like the
but it's not. It's not good when we do it.
Yeah, they want the 15 million quid for him, and we offer him 3. Like, it's insulting. Yeah. It's an insult. He's come out to be one of the, you know, better centre midfielders in the league, the best centre midfield partnership in the league. I can't believe they're talking about Rice for 50 million and all of that sort of shit. Yeah. Like, let alone him for 26 million. I think he's been the better of the two this year. You know,
50. You sure, Luke? 50. You can have him.
No way. I won't even sell him for 70.
He's so important to this team, and then when you get a team like Barcelona, who are such a big club, you're not going to sell him on the cheap for that. If you are going to sell him, but someone talks about Messi, right? Messi would be not a great signing for us because we could never afford his wages. Like he's on $500,000 a week or something, isn't he? Could you imagine? So and he's only got 1 year. I think he's got 1 year left on his deal or something. So they haven't even got that. But if they had a long-term deal, right, I'd say right. You can have Souceck, loan us Messi for the remainder of his contract, and you pay the wages. And you can have because you could imagine having Messi at West Ham with the how great that would be, but they can't even do that. So yeah, I mean Souceck is going to start to attract obviously interest from other clubs. Again, this goes back to the better we can do, push on to show our ambition, the more likely he would be to want to stay. But I think he's happy for now. I think he's settled. He's got his best mate Souceck here. He fits into the club. Yeah, I can't. He's not going anywhere.
No, I know in football, money talks and all that, but he's settling in. I think he's moved not far from where I live. I know they were looking for somewhere to take their kid to preschool, so it's he looks like he's settling in here for the long haul, and he seems the type of player that will show a bit of loyalty, which you don't see a lot in modern day footballers. But he seems that type of player, and I don't think this will turn his head. Look, anyone anywhere would want to play for a club like Barcelona. Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, such a good history, and it's.
I just think they're a bit of a mess now.
I don't think under current circumstances, Scott. I really don't.
Yeah. But I just think he seems to be enjoying his football. He's got his mate at the club as well. They seem settled. Everything's going fine and dandy, But 28 million is that's an insult to the player, to us. He's worth more than that. But to us, like other people have said in the comments, he's priceless.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, obviously, Callum Trehan. I'm going to guess. 199 super chat. Cheers, Callum. How much is Souceck worth? That's a good question in relation to this. I mean, it's his first season, isn't it?
But again, the thing is, Dan, the first game was his first game at Anfield, and he looked like he'd been playing there for years. He's just slotted right in. So I don't think you can go, it's his first season. I think he'll consistently be like that for us.
I think there's a different thing people get mixed up in with actual player worth or value and what they're worth to the club, or what the club's willing to sell them for. Because obviously, like when we say 100, we want 100 million for Rice. Look, he's never worth that. No, but that's what we want in order to, we're happy to sell him for, right? That doesn't mean that he's on this level of being this 100 million, but no, that's what we're happy to let him go for.
Yeah, it's not even that. What you would need to replace that type of player.
Yeah.
And by selling that player, you're going to significantly weaken your side.
Yeah. You look at
the answer would be yes.
I'll be honest. I think we've got a couple of years out of Souceck. Yeah, I think he's one of the. If he consistently performs, get a year or two down the line, and either Bayern Munich or someone coming for him, or someone like that, or someone playing in the Champions League, because I've got no problem with allowing players to go for that. It's when they start doing what like Arnautovic does, and fucking starts,
Don't
making us
forget
think
what-
because he wants more
Pie
money,
as well.
making us think, or making us think because they're not getting their way. But I can see Souceck. Souceck's a lovely lad, and so is Soufal, and you can see every game they play. You can see by their social medias. They're absolutely fucking buzzing to be playing in the Premier League. And they're absolutely fucking buzzing to be, getting us, results.
And I don't think they're on a lot of money either. You can offer them
And
more
to be
money.
honest, if Europe was their main European competition was their main thing to play in, they would have stayed where they were.
Yeah, exactly. It may be the fact that they've got higher ambition, but I don't think they're one of them players that are saying, right, I'm going to go and play for West Ham, that then get me to Tottenham, that then get me to Liverpool. I think they're saying, I'm going to go and play for West Ham, and we're going to see if we can get them into the Champions League. And if we can't get them into Champions League, then a couple of years down the line, perhaps we'll move on. I think they're them type of players. And you can just see they're lovely lads, like they're. As you say, you can see every game. Like you see by Soufal's reaction from when we met. He was in tears over losing to Manchester City. I've seen some. I've been at the Etihad at times and fucking Old Trafford and thing. I've seen players that about 30 seconds from when they know the whistle's going to go, start heading towards the tunnel, start drifting off to the sideline. It's. You can tell what it means to them, and I think you've got two honest lads there, and I think that's what we've been missing, and I think that's what a lot of clubs are missing in their hard work, ambition, and all of that sort of thing. And you can swing it all the way back round to Haller when you say that, but you look at the likes of Manchester United and that. Why can't they succeed? Why can't Manchester United succeed? Why can't they, get the likes of Louis van Gaal? Because the lunatics are now running the asylum. Because the way they want to, buy their players is they want to buy these overpriced, egotistical pricks that are now running the club. And it was the same with Chelsea. Under all their managers, the egos are running the club. It's just. You don't want players. Souceck and Soufal are the type of players you want to buy, and they're the type of players. Passion, that's the word, Jamie Hampshire. Passion is the word.
Do you know what they've got that? I know I've spoken about it before, but they've got that old English grit, determination, attitude that we used to see from a lot of British players. Of that, who do or die, give everything, leave everything on the pitch. And unfortunately, a lot of our younger, talented players don't have that grit and determination. It's been drummed out of them, not drummed out of them, but it's gone out of them because of the money involved with the game. These boys are getting paid decent amounts of money to do something that they love doing. And they're living the dream, and that's why they seem to, when we win, they enjoy it, and that's why they're so disappointed when we lose.
Yeah.
So you know what? Before we do go into us, we should, because people have been asked us to talk about the Leeds game. We ain't talked about that, have we? We should quickly talk about that.
Yeah.
We get on.
Let me just read out this comment because one of our biggest supporters, Miss Amarette, always around for everything that we do, and everyone else that is, we do thank you. We're going to have to start making like some of your mods and things like that for the chat things, So, I know a couple of people keep on saying because you get some practice, especially on a match day, that want to start ruining things, and we're going to start sort of rewarding a couple of people that are here with us all the time. But Miss Emirates says, us for Emma's family will always have respect for a player that puts in the shifts and shows us respect. And I think that's what it's about.
Yeah.
When you think about it, when you get down to the nitty gritty of football, there are people there that pay their money, and to be fair, it's a fucking lot of money. So you can, so you can live a millionaire's lifestyle to come and watch you play football. The least you can do is show them that you can play fucking football, or show them that you can at least try. You know what I mean? And I think that's all the time is. That's what West Ham fans want. We've had some terrible players over the years, but they tried their hardest and they've gone down, in folklore. And then you've got some absolute superstars that have gone down in like a lead balloon.
That's it. Some old players have turned around and said it. The West Ham crowd, you could be the worst player out there on that pitch, but if you're trying 100% and you're working your ass off and putting in tackles left, right, and centre, the fans love you. And one player that springs to mind for that is Thomas Repka.
Do you know what I was about? Do you know what I was going to say? Is Souceck reminds me a bit of Thomas Repka.
Yeah,
I get very Thomas Repka vibes from him. You know,
it's
in
just
a few
not as much
Yeah.
as Looney.
But Thomas
but
Repka
he's
always
got that
had
little
one.
lunatics
Yeah.
under the surface.
Yeah.
It's
He's
under
got
the
that-
Do you know what?
surface thing.
Thomas Repka,
He
I like Thomas Repka, but he always had that one, like he'd give away a stupid penalty or like to clatter into the back of someone on the edge of the box. He always had that one.
He was
rush of blood in him.
He was one of the best wrestlers in the 18-yard box, though.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, Ray. If you're worried about that, you tell him he's a cunt.
I liked him, but he just always had one. He always seemed to have like one little rush of blood.
Yeah, I love
Rip. He kidnapped his girlfriend or something, demanded like ransom for her or some shit like that.
No, he was pimping out his wife or something.
He was. Did he post her details on some website or something like that
he was a good player for us, but he always had one little rush of blood in him.
But that's when you see Souceck sometimes there was that thing where he get with Grealish and he'll get up and it's the eyes, he'll stare at him.
Maybe like was it who was it in the Villa game? Was it Fredericks when he fouled Grealish and he went to help him up and Cooper was like pushing him away, going, "No, go." Lead him.
Yeah, he don't look like he's got the nice guy feel, but it looks like you don't want to cross him.
He's one of them players who seems he's probably a right nice guy off the pitch, but you don't want to be playing against him on the pitch.
Yeah.
We've played with a few players like that, haven't we, Scott?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you though, I think when he was playing for us, I think like he took his car to some garage in Brentwood or something. And one of them scratched his Ferrari, and he went down there with like fucking like tools and shit to smash someone up and all that. I've heard stories about that. That's fucking mental. But let's get on to the Leeds game, and then we'll get on to the.
I think this question, this question sort of leads us into that nicely, actually, Steve. WHU Builds, super chat. Cheers, Steve. What's the thoughts on Mike reffing the game on Monday?
I'll be honest. Let's let Graham go first because Graham never gets a fucking say because I'm always loud and.
Do you know what I think? I think it's Monday could well be the Mike Dean show. I think there's something will happen and it'll end up being the Mike Dean show again. I think. I really feel like I don't know. I'm expecting Leeds to get a dodgy penalty or something.
Yeah, I hopefully we're the ones who get the dodgy penalty. That's why that's all because it's going to come one way or another, and I just hope it works for us rather than against us. But someone said this on Twitter, like for someone who had all these death threats supposedly, had to take time off and all. He's quick. They've thrown him quickly back into a West Ham game very quickly.
Dan, I don't believe. I don't believe that he had death threats, but I don't think that they're the reason he took time off. I think he got suspended for a game and they don't want to admit it. That's what I honestly think. I think he got suspended. Well, I mean, he reffed in the FA Cup since then. Like that time when he's meant to be having time off because of his family and all that. He went and reffed in the FA Cup, and 2 games later he's reffing West Ham again.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's more, the decision that was made was silly because he, as we said at the time when he made it, he was looking at it. But the person that got off lightly was Lee Mason because he was doing
but then he had a shocker the following week. Was it the Brighton game?
That's the thing. Mike Dean got all the abuse
because he made the final decision, didn't he?
He went and watched it 25 times.
Yeah, exactly. But if Lee Mason had kept his mouth shut, that doesn't put that doubt in his mind to do it. And Lee Mason, Lee Mason should have been reprimanded for that. Dean should be reprimanded, and Mason should be reprimanded.
After what happened the other day, Lee Mason shouldn't be anywhere near football. He obviously don't know the fucking rules of football. You know what I mean? He got himself into such a pickle the other day with the decisions in that Brighton game that he literally the VAR
about the free kick, isn't you?
Yeah, the free kick. The VAR blew the whistle. The VAR people had to dig him out of his own fucking grave because he dug it so much, and he must have literally been playing. Please rule it out because I'm going to look like a right wally here because he didn't even know he blew his whistle. The geezer, he said, "Can I take it?" I mean, Dunk said himself, didn't he? He said, "Can I take it?" He said, "Yes." Blew his whistle. He took it. Blew his whistle again. Then disallowed the goal. Then gave the goal. And then they're looking through VAR. You could see them looking through VAR just to see anything, any tiny little thing, and they wouldn't. They just couldn't. And they went, "Yeah, he blew the whistle before it crossed the line." What the fuck?
It was a bit like with our game against Spurs, where they were looking for anything in the build up to our second goal.
Yeah, they was desperate.
You know,
they was looking for Lingard for offside, weren't they, or something?
Well, they were looking for an offside, then an handball, and it just meant. And basically, what it was, they because the linesman's flagged, didn't want to make him look bad, so they're trying to find a reason not to overrule him. But I don't understand why, if obviously Mike Dean, look, I ain't gonna say he don't have social media. His daughter has it, I think his wife has it, and they were the ones that were getting the death threats. But it's one of them. Do you shy away from it, or do you stand up to the bullies? Now, you get back in the saddle. You stand up to the bullies. You show that these things don't bother you and you're a bigger man than what these people were doing, hiding behind social media to say what they say, right? But
death threat, and I said this at the time, if he was getting death threats,
what we should have done was we should have requested with the FA not for him to not ref any of our games for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly that
he's done it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, it's ridiculous that he's reffing one of our games already, because as well, if he did get death threats, you don't know then if that's going to influence him and he's going to want to get one back on West Ham fans if he really was getting the death threats and all of that. So
if he was getting death threats, my hands up and I'll say, but listen, the way it was handled, it was obvious. It's obvious that he had a 1 game suspension and they didn't want to admit that he'd been suspended because he reffed FA Cup game in between. If it was genuine death threats, and I'm not saying there wasn't none. I'm not saying there wasn't none at all. It's not that I'm denying that there were death threats. And if you did that, you're a prick. Like, it's a game of football, and he ain't got social media. You're doing it to his kids, and anyone that even fucking sort of implied that you should do it to his kids is a prick as well, in my eyes. And I made my fucking feelings on that totally clear. But what I'm saying is, you're a vile cunt if you're doing that. But I don't think that's the reason that he took a week off.
Yeah. So what do we think about the Leeds game then? Are we confident?
I am confident. I think that we've defended well, this year, and I think that's the way Leeds like to play. They're fantastic at times, going forward and that. But I think we're one of the most solid teams in the league, and I think we'll do them on the breaks. To be honest with you, their fucking defending is atrocious. It's atrocious.
They just push numbers forward, don't they? They attack like 5, 6, 7. So if you can move the ball quickly and get the pace in behind them, which we've got.
You've got to remember as well, when we beat them before, I think it was only 2-1, wasn't it? But we absolutely tore them to pieces.
Yeah.
And our lack of finishing let us down. And, the way they play suits the way we play, if you get what I mean.
Exactly.
We are so, so rugged defensively, and we've got players there, and we're playing a lot better than we were.
Don't worry about what's going on around you. Like there is no pressure. And if there are any West Ham players or people that are involved with the club that can show, there is no pressure. We don't expect anything. We don't care whether you're 4th or 9th or whatever. It'd be nice to be 4th, but if we're 9th, we're 9th. We've enjoyed this season. We've enjoyed this season so much that just go out there and play your game. We know what you can do. We know that you can beat these sort of sides. You've shown us all year. Just go out there and play the game, man. Don't worry about what's going on around you. But if you pick up the points, we're in control of our own destiny, which is madness.
Exactly.
There's no expectation. There's no pressure.
But do you know what? I think some of the pressure probably was what they put on themselves, because they probably want it as much as the fans, And I think this is what comes down to mentality where, under that season under Pellegrini where we finished 10th, we didn't show it because every time we was in touching distance, we bottled it. This season, we've been the opposite. And I think, the players should really be up for it, because no one's talking about us. Everyone's talking about, is it going to be Liverpool or Chelsea that get it? Or, no one's talking about West Ham. They should take that and use that to drive them. Is that people don't think we're going to do it. People think we're out of it. And all we got to do is play each game, take each game that comes, give everything on that pitch, have the right mentality, and we'll be up there. Like I said, there's no reason why they should not bang up for this game.
Thing is, me and Scott were talking the other day, weren't we? Remember, I think it was after Leicester game, and they went, "Oh, they're now only what was it, 3-4 points?"
No, they were talking Leicester. Leicester drew, didn't they? I think. The other night.
Yeah.
And then so we're fourth, Leicester third, Chelsea were fifth. So the newsreader reading out the thing, it completely bypassed us in the conversation and went, but Leicester are third, but they're still 6 points in front of fifth place Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's the same as that.
I'd rather they keep talking like that because it's like they're not focusing on us, and we can just keep doing
Gary Neville. Did you hear Gary Neville the other night?
Oh yeah, Gary Neville's one. That was it.
Oh, he was talking. He was, who lost? Man United. Man United. They got beat.
Didn't they?
Drew with Burnley. Yeah. Palace. Sorry, Palace.
Palace. Yeah.
They drew with Palace, and who's Liverpool like that? Well, Liverpool ain't nowhere fucking near them. Why would they fucking like it? Liverpool got to sort their own shit. Why is he talking about Liverpool and the likes of Liverpool and Everton? It wasn't Everton, sorry. It was Liverpool and all
Chelsea,
Tottenham and Chelsea and all that. Never mentioned West Ham. Never mentioned Everton.
No.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, us and Everton just keep doing what we're doing and plugging away. They're not focusing on us, and we end up getting under the radar.
I'm going to put my bollocks out and I'm going to wave it all over this fucking camera. Take that, you wankers. Take that.
But that's why the players should use that to fire them up.
It would be great if us and Everton finished in the top four together, because that would just stick two fingers up to all the media companies that just love the Uniteds, the Chelseas, the Cities, the Liverpools, and all that. It'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Alex Jones says, should we play 4 at the back or 5? I think 5 will probably be the way to go against Leeds. I think that's going to be the.
What did we play last time?
I want to say a 5. I feel like that's when we were playing the 5.
I'm going to try and find out.
Please don't.
Ken Hammers are probably tell me before I can find out on here. But
do you know what we should say? We should say is like, all right, if we get to 60,000 subscribers by the end of the season, Nicky won't get his bollocks out if we get
You watch it. It'd be like the bloody subscribers be like a stopwatch.
We apparently play 4 at the back.
I don't want to see him.
But I'm sure. I'm sure someone would say, "Oh no, we played."
They're saying it was 4. It was 4.
Okay,
it was 4.
I mean, it depends, isn't it? It's all about the personnel that we've got available now, isn't it, versus then, and who we want to get into the side. I'm trying to think.
The lineup last time was Fabianski, Kufal, Balbuena, Ogbonna, Creswell, Souceck, Rice, Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, and Nicky's mate. That's the system we set up now.
Now we've got Antonio and Lingard.
You got to bring Benrahma into this one.
Yes, yes. They couldn't handle him when he came on. When he came on that pitch, they couldn't handle him. The big key is going to be if Fabianski is fit. And Moyes came out and said he's not training yet, but he's a possibility. Possibly could play. And I think that is going to be so important, is Fabianski playing. Randolph ain't even fully fit. So if Fabianski can't play, we're probably looking at David Martin for this game. So
Randolph didn't look fit the last time that he came in, if you remember rightly, for Fabianski.
He was just back from injury.
Dawson was taking the goal kicks against City, wasn't he, in the free kicks. So.
But this is the thing. We're going to be probably facing quite a few shots. Whether they're on target or not is another thing. But you need our keeper to be on their A game and on that day, really.
Because it's good if Fab's back. Look, Randolph does a decent job when he's there, but
Fabianski's a level above, yeah,
that's the thing. But I just think with Lingard, Benrahma. To be fair, I'll probably go Lingard, Benrahma, and Bowen for this one, playing behind Antonio. I know Fornals has played well over the last couple of games and doesn't really deserve to be dropped. But I just feel that three behind Antonio will cause them a lot more problems.
Yeah. I think there are games that suit Fornals more than others, and I think a game like Man City or Liverpool or stuff like that, he really thrives in, and that's where you need a Fornals. But I feel like this sort of game where we need a little bit more sort of cutting edge, where we could get a little bit more chances.
With that strike force, that's going to give them something to think about, which may sort of make them change their game plan, because
they don't really do that,
numbers. But if they know they've got them for sort of exploiting the space behind them, it might make them.
No, but that's their downfall. Is they
push
don't
the number
change
drop off a little bit, you know.
No, but they don't do that, Gray. That's their downfall. They don't change their game plan. Their whole thing is we don't change our game. We just attack. We just play how we play.
But my mate was saying he's watched a few of their games this year. Like he's got like UEFA B and like say he watches loads of games and analyses and all that. And he was saying like with Leeds, they seem to mark man for man. He said, but they will stick with that player rather than like normally like you say, I'll pass the player on it. He said they'll stick with that player. He said so they're easy to pull about.
Yeah. And so you normally man mark the player
marking, Graham, and the one where you pass players on is zonal marking. I will have you know.
Yes. No, but they will stick with that player. Regardless of where they go on the pitch. So they, gives you opportunity to pull them about and create.
The two centre backs are marking. Why don't they go down and have like shit or something, and then just drag them down the tunnel and then leave it right open?
Fucking yeah! I think the player obviously got.
Mark Sherman Brand's right. Yeah, they just play one way, and sometimes it works. So like sometimes they look unbeatable, and then. Yeah. Other times, like Nicky says, they look shocking at the back a lot of the time.
I think that Rafinha is obviously going to be a player to watch. He's been on fire lately. He's going to be someone that we've got to watch out for, and obviously Bamford.
Fuck, he's no shitting, mate.
Bamford's not a bad striker, you know. He misses quite a few chances, but he's a decent striker.
Yeah, that is the thing they get. The thing is. Whenever I watch Leeds, they're so frustrating to watch because they do get a lot of chances and they just fuck up a lot of chances. Like that's that's how they end up losing them. They just get caught out of the back because they're just wasteful so many times. They have all that possession and they just fuck up the last minute.
You saw that even like the last season they were in the Championship. They've done the same thing in the cup game against Arsenal. They dominated Arsenal for the first 45 minutes. Should have been 3 or 4 up, and then get beat. Because they don't put the chances away. So, we've got to be careful. We can't give them too many chances because sooner or later they will go 1. We went 1-0 down to them the last game as well. So,
individual error, and obviously the stat is that we are the only team who haven't conceded a goal due to an individual error, but obviously that doesn't count penalties. We haven't conceded an open, which is a great stat. Usually we're the worst for individual errors leading to goals. But that was a moment of madness. And then it was the fucking VAR screwing us over because Fabianski saved it, and then they made him retake it. So we should have beaten by more than 2-0. So we absolutely that was pretty much all us that game. So if we can have a repeat of that. And I think a lot of people, I see if you would say Leeds are Jekyll and Hyde. I think Leeds are very consistent in the fact of sometimes what they do works and sometimes it just doesn't work against it. And that is the thing. They'll just have that way of playing and, either it works and they, or on the day they just finish a couple of chances or they don't go for them. They're just, I think that it's to Bielsa's detriment, isn't it? That he's not very adaptive. I think that is his problem. So
I surprise you because he's one of these managers who looked a lot at the opposition.
Yeah,
man,
he has spies and shit.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You would think he'd tweak his own game plan to compete against other teams, but he just seems to have this is it. This is how we're playing out.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is about him? He's a massive football nerd. My cousin, my uncle is a Leeds fan, says that he will scout the Dutch Division 3 players' third choice keeper and have dossiers on this fucking player. Just he's obsessive about it. So
He's a
I guess
student of the game, Dan. A student of the game.
I think it's just like he just likes to know. I guess he'll look at Derby, send spies them and go, all right, that's what they're doing, just out of interest of what they're against. But we're still gonna do our game plan. We're not gonna change. So yeah, fascinating guy.
Predictions.
Oh yeah, predictions. That's a good one, Greg. Go on, you take it away, mate.
I'm gonna go same as earlier in the season, 2-1 to us. I think.
Scott,
right?
I'm going out on a limb. I'm going 3-0.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3-1 West Ham. Jay Ling's brace and Ben Rama, if he plays, getting his first goal for West Ham. That's what I'm going for.
I'm gonna go 3-1 as well. I was thinking 3-1. 3-1. No, fuck it. Just a bit different. 4-0.
4-0. I hate it when we're really confident. That's what makes me nervous. When we're
because you still all get clips and all that. But I am quite confident. I just got faith.
I mean, for Ben Evans, I just see it 5-0. A lot of confidence.
3-2.
Richard 6-0. Bloody hell! I'm worried now.
We're in our current form. It's got to be. Is it? I saw the comment pop up again. Is it still we've not been awarded a penalty yet?
No, we have. We've had a penalty.
Yeah, we had. What game did we have penalties?
Has my voice gone funny?
A couple of games ago, wasn't it?
Oh, Declan Rice.
Yeah.
That was it. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple of games ago.
One penalty we've had.
I think that's a nice scoreline, 2-1. I'm just going to go out. I'm feeling a bit cheeky. Feeling a bit
salty there, Nicolas.
We haven't had a real comfortable. We're due a real comfortable beating of someone. So
I want to be comfortable. So I don't have to have this fucking idiot screaming in the ear hole every time the ball goes near the goal.
Yeah.
Well, I said to you last week. Obviously, when you went, because I couldn't watch the Spurs game, I was listening to the watch along because I couldn't get the radio TalkSport on the radio and listen to it. And I was driving. And he was making me nervous.
I know. He makes me nervous. I'm quite calm, and he's making me nervous. I'll tell you what, right? If you clip up on just the noises he makes, I bet he sounds like a porn film. I swear on my life, someone download one of the games and just take him when he's not speaking. He's just making some sort of noise.
We'll see tomorrow.
You see that one?
I think we just saw Nick's sex face there.
Do you see all the clips of Gary Neville in his oars? And they clips all them together.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to do that to you, Dan, by the end of the season.
Yeah, I am. I'm like that Gary Neville. Oh, that's what he does.
Honestly, it fucking makes me nervous. I start to get worried.
No, there are times, right, when someone take a shot and someone will take a shot at the goal and I'll go like, oh, fuck, like that, yeah. And then I look back at it and the ball's fucking nowhere near the goal.
I can't remember what game it was. I couldn't, in the end, I had to turn it off. Because Dan, I couldn't watch it. I was like, fuck's sake, Dan.
Yeah, if your nerves can take it, you'll leave. But like I said, if it's a nice, easy game, relaxed game, we've got it locked up. I should be all right. But you never know.
Let me just answer this quickly before we go answer anything. Look, ask us anything now. You can ask us whatever you like. Ask Grant to show us his sex face. Ask Dan to get his nipples out. Whatever you want now, you can ask us anything. Nick Achilles says, "Where is Ryan tonight?" We've got to say a big congratulations to Ryan and his
new Wi-Fi.
They just bought their first house together. Congratulations!
Oh. Yeah, I thought he was
getting
new Wi-Fi. He's getting new Wi-Fi, isn't it?
Actually,
yeah, his Wi-Fi's getting sorted the weekend, so that's why.
But massive congratulations to Ryan and his wife. It's a huge step. But he's been here all night. I don't know why he just didn't come in.
No, he's because he didn't want to waste his data.
I know. But yeah, massive congratulations. It's obviously a lovely story. But what was I saying?
Ask us anything.
I was going to say something else. I don't know.
Look, this is classic. Ask us anything.
It'll come back. Yeah.
that sums up Masters anything,
Oh.
Munchies or Rolos.
That's the one that started.
That is the Masters anything all over.
Just don't ask Dan about cups of tea or coffee.
Yeah, some people have already been talking about it in the bloody chat. Munchies all day long. Rolos get a bit sickly, but Munchies have a bit of crunch to them. So.
Nah, man, I'll eat Rolos like mother. I'd let them tip them. You know, like a pack of Rolos, like squash them up like a Scooby snack and just put them straight in.
Oh, they
I
take
do
so
like
long.
Rolos, but I'm with Dan on this one. I do like Rolos, but it's got to be Munchies.
Somebody gave me some Munchies the other day, and they was like chocolate brownie Munchies.
Oh,
They was nasty, man.
Dan, do you remember the mint ones, like the after 8 Munchies? Do you remember them?
Yeah,
The ones in the green packet.
Yeah, I remember them.
See, as much as I love Rolos, I'm with Dan. Rolos do get a bit sickly, so I'm going Munchies as well. I love Munchies.
Yeah.
When's your pockets right now? That's a good one.
Oh no, that wasn't Rolos. He said Rollos. Do you remember like the toffee things?
Nah, I'm sure he meant Rolos, Gray. I don't know what Rolos are.
Rolos.
No, he said Rollos. The toffee things.
Clarify in the chat. So we've got good says what's next for West? Scott, you try and read that one out. You're great with pronunciation. What's next for West Ham Fan TV? New upgrades?
Let's look at jobs.
I'm just getting back to the way you said that, Dan. I thought you was auditioning for what's the bloody film? The puppet one. Great.
Team America.
Team America.
Yeah.
Yeah, great upgrades. Yeah, hopefully. Getting ready to go back to the football. That's what we're prepping for.
Yeah, obviously that's what we want to do. Hopefully we're getting it sorted anyway. We've got very soon to have the timer and all of that and all the snazzy stuff on the watch-alongs. But apart from that, I mean, yeah, when we go back, getting all of that done and then sorting out where we're going to obviously do post-match pint, some more, maybe some live shows where people can come and see us in person. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a culture shock because we had our routine when we did post-match pint, like, right, here's the audio gear we need. We set that up. We set all that up. We haven't done that for like a year. And then we're going to get in it and then realize, shit, we've lost this microphone and we're going to need to get this replaced.
To be fair, by the time we get to that place, with what we got running with the patrons and all that sort of thing, we'll have new equipment that we shouldn't be having that.
No, but I think what I mean is we get to that point where we need to find out what we need and what we're doing. So when we get back into it, we're going to have a look. And
as soon as we can, as soon as that sort of stuff opens up again and we can get out of this house and start talking to people, we're going to be talking to people. We're going to be talking to people about what we're doing, where we're doing more of a routine, a plan, better equipment and things like that. And, really to push this, to the next level. You've got us to a level now. We need to push it to the next level. And eventually, hopefully, we're talking to a few people, maybe making it a living one day. That's the aim. But it's down to us now to raise that quality. To sell something and to make it worthwhile, we've got to raise the quality. You've done all you can to get us to this spot. Now it's down to us. But
I did an interview for some sort of article or something, and the thing I said there is the big thing for me is I want to make this channel something that all West Ham fans can be proud of. That it's like something real special, and you guys can come and we have all the great content. Everything looks good, and all the time the organization is great, and you guys have something really special. So, and that's what we're striving for. So that's the thing. It's someone said. Favorite beer. This just takes me back. If people know, for me, listen, I love a Carlsberg. Yeah, I'm not shy about it. People shit on Carlsberg, and it does offend me. And I like a Carlsberg, all right, or an Amstel, if I'm feeling posh.
I'll tell you what, I like. If I'm feeling frivolous, I do like a Moretti or a Peroni.
You seem like a real ale man to me, Scott Graham.
Oh, he is.
I do like an ale. I do.
Dan, they want to see an upgrade in your curtains, mate. That's what people are asking for.
What? Listen, people was complaining about my butterfly curtains, right, all the time. I went out and got new curtains about the butterflies, and the people are still complaining. Honestly,
you had new curtains, man.
Yeah, do you remember I had the butterfly ones, and people talking about my bloody curtains. Do you know what, Nicky? What is beer? I know you're not a big beer drinker, but when you do drink beer, what beer do you like? Go on.
I like Red Stripe is my favourite beer. I think if I was to choose one, if there was that or like Tiger beer or something like that, you know, something a little bit less gassy. I find them two beers a little bit less gassy. I'm not a massive beer drinker, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
Right, it sounds mad because I invented a show called Postmatch fucking Pint, but you know, I'm not a lover of beer. Unless the God's honest truth, I'm not.
I should be drinking pints of whiskey or Jack Daniels or whatever.
Yeah, vodka, man. Vodka's my thing. You know me, you know I'm drinking a vodka. I'm drinking a vodka.
Yeah, I can't stand
all day long.
And then cutting up the rudnick on the old dance floor.
Boy, I tell you what, mate, I've lost some fucking weight now. You watch me shift now, I'll be like a fucking Renault 500. Renault 500? 500 fucking round the fucking dance floor, man. You won't be able to see me for shit. Jeffrey Masterson says, are all your boys Hammer shirts in a wash? No.
No.
We just wear different clothes sometimes. Hey,
Dan's got
Eminem shit out. Sorry, boys. Favorite beers. Was we finished?
Yeah.
Scott didn't say his one.
Apologies.
Mine changes all the time. It
quite like San Miguel as well. San Miguel.
I like a Moretti. I love a Corona.
All the beers.
Don't mind a Corona.
At the moment, one of them pump things for Christmas.
I've got one of them. Where you brew your own ones. The ones where you brew your own.
No, this one's like a pump, and then you buy the kegs and you put it in there. So a pump. Like he's got a bar out in his back garden, and
I'll answer this question real quick. If you got to choose tea, coffee, hot chocolate, or Bovril, I can't stand them all. But if I had to, one of them, what's a latte coffee? Because it tastes like it's like a dessert in it, like with all the cream on it.
Do you remember when we went to Chelsea away the other year and it was near Christmas and we had the old gingerbread latte on the way back?
I didn't have it, did I? Did I have it? I didn't have it.
Oh no, me and Scott had that one, didn't we?
I don't.
I can't remember what you. Yeah.
Me
and Scott had
gingerbread latte as well.
That was Nicky got us on that because he went, I tried this gingerbread, really nice. I thought, let's give that a try.
Yeah, we like a latte, man. Miss Hammerett says, what age did you start going West Ham? I was told him, and my dad used to put me on his shoulders. My dad never took me to West Ham. My dad had stopped going a long time before I started going. My first game was when I was 10, and I could go there on my own. And I know what game it was. It was Sunderland, and we won 6-0. And it was the old sort of like the last days of the old South Bank. And I went and stood on the South Bank. And then I think the North Bank was the last one. So I must have gone to that when we played Liverpool once. In about 93, but the old one with the last South Bank, I went and stood and when we beat Sunderland, and I'll never forget it. It was a day that made me. I was 10, or coming up 10. Right. Yeah.
I went. I was 6 when I went. The first 10 game. Dad had taken me to a few reserve games before that, but I was 6. It was 1983, 10-0 Bury League Cup.
Do you know what, Graham? Right. You make me sick, mate. I can't stand these people that remember the games they first because I can't remember mine, but you get people and they go, I remember it was Tuesday. It was a bit humid that day, and Phil Parks was.
Dan, are you going to forget a 10-0? Are you going to forget a 10-0?
True, yeah. To be fair, you're right, but just a lot of people. I'm so bad at remembering. I can't remember my first game. You just remember the feel of it, but I think it was Ipswich. But yeah, I'm just no good at that. All of that. On a side note, Kane Leg says you should model for Calvin Klein briefs.
That's very kind of you to say, Kane. But I think if Calvin Klein did a high and mighty range, then or big and tall, then I'll be all right.
Graham, you have to keep this look now, mate. You have to keep it. You can't go back to the old look. People are loving it too much.
I do like it.
What does the wife think?
It's a lot easier to maintain. Put it that way.
Does the other half approve?
She was the one who got the lawnmower.
Yeah. Got the old hedge trimmer.
Luke Bodini says thoughts on Titanic, the film and story. I found it. I would say I found it a bit boring. The film, to be honest. I watched it once. Yeah, I did find it. For me, I watched it back in the 90s, so I mean, I probably was bored as a kid, but yeah, it didn't do anything for me. It was long. It was really long.
It was great when the ship sank.
Yeah, that was the best bit, and I remember laughing. And it's so bad because it's a true story, but there was this point where the ship's like that, and people are falling, and they're bouncing on the fucking on the tubes. And as a kid, I thought it was hilarious because I didn't know it was a real disaster. But I think I probably was a bad choice on them, directors-wise, on James Cameron doing that.
I often think how like sad it is. No, not the film or nothing, but you know, to hit something like that, and to have like an hour or two before you know you're gonna fucking die, basically.
Yeah.
I think that would have drove me insane. I would have tried to get away. I would have
watched,
on my own, like, you know. But to have all of them people on board as like a captain or or crew or something, and just to know, in an hour's time, this is going down, and this is probably going to kill, a good amount of these people.
Watched,
and fucking Jack. She said, "I'll never let you go," and then she let him go.
A lot of people are talking about what a random question is. It is actually, isn't it? Just like, what do you think of Titanic?
I did watch documentary about Titanic. It was on the Smithsonian, I think it was last week, about a couple of things that wasn't particularly well known. Like apparently there was a big fire in one of the engine rooms, and it weakened one of the like where the iceberg struck. They said if there hadn't been the fire and the metal, like the steel had been warped, it probably wouldn't have sunk. But they were still fighting the fire out.
It went through too many chambers. There was like
the water got it through too many bulkheads.
No, there was sort of chambers,
the bulkheads
where whatever.
Yeah,
the terminology, Nick.
Just for a prat like me, right? There was like 4 chambers or 5 chambers, and if the iceberg only went through 2 of them, it would have survived, but it went through 4 of them or something like that. You know what I mean? It could have survived 2. And
there's loads of stories, because that story on the fire, and they reckon there was a slight explosion as well, which weakened part of it and stuff like that. It's you're never going to know the truth. You're never going to know the truth, what really happened.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like they were saying, there was the sort of inquest afterwards. There was like the higher ups were trying to cover it up and about
the biggest worry was it when they putting people in them lifeboats and they had that much space in the lifeboats to save more people.
Yeah, but it was 109 years ago. Like what I mean? It's not like the same as it is today.
No, but it's still like over 1,000 people lost there. Like still.
It's Friday night, lads, and UB40 are on. But what tune's better, Red Wine or Kingston Town?
I'm not a big UB40 fan, but let's think.
Personally, for me, it's Red Wine.
Yeah, I was Red Wine is my.
I think Kingston Sound's got the good the intro. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah,
that's it, Dan.
I think Red Wine.
You just butcher it, Dan. You just butcher
if I could choose any UB40 song, it's 1 in 10, man. 1 in 10 is a fucking banger. And like growing up in the 80s in like a working class area where there wasn't a lot of work, but I think it really like it hit home a little bit, you know what I mean, as you was growing up, because I remember them days. I remember the days of fucking people being on the dole and queues out the dole offices to get some money, and people looking malnourished and I am the 1 in 10 number on the list. Love it. Absolutely.
And
love it.
you know why they called UB40?
Yeah, because this day was the papers, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the form they had to fill out for their dole money.
Bloody dole on the bloody dole. Now, yeah, I'm just not big. I don't mind come back, baby, come back. But a lot of their songs were just covers.
That wasn't UB40 though.
No, it was UB40 featuring.
No, it weren't. It was
cover.
Ali.
No,
yeah, it was. It was.
It was the lead singer from UB40.
Yeah.
They've covered the Elvis one as well, didn't they?
Right. But Chelly, I was at an 80s weekend, right, and it was UB40, but not with Ali. What's his flipping name? Because
there's two UB40s now.
He don't have the rights to it. So the other band, it was the band without him.
Yeah,
that was playing.
It's the two singers have gone one way and the rest of the band have gone the other way. There's massive rows about it, massive. It's the same man.
It's the same with the who sings "Mirror in the Bathroom"? The Beat. They had the same situation of the actual singer has to call himself the English Beat because the other band had got the rights. But yeah, no, I thought just UB40 was it always seemed like just a cover band, and a lot of the songs they covered were just not as good as the originals. But they did well. They did some hits and that, So good luck to them. So something about specials, yeah. I prefer specials than UB40.
Same specials, yeah, good they are. They're really good specials.
Yeah.
So I said, Nick, I think you was.
That's a better Jimmy Cliff. Jimmy Cliff did that better.
We saw the specials. I'm sure you were there, Nick, when they performed with. No, I don't think you was. They performed with Amy Winehouse. That was good.
This is a tough question. Tears for Fears or Depeche Mode? Ooh. I think Depeche Mode have more songs that I like. I think they had more. I think for longevity and song catalogue, I love Tears for Fears, but I have to go Depeche Mode.
I'll be honest, I don't like neither of them.
What? You talking about bangers? You talking about bangers, Nicky? Bangers? Come on.
I know a couple of their songs. I like a couple of their songs, but I wouldn't say I was a fan of the bands.
Pal Shelter. Listen, Just Can't Get Enough. That's a classic for football.
Just can't get enough. Who was the one that sang "Give a little respect to me"?
That was
weren't
it Erasure, was it? Was it Erasure?
That was Erasure.
It was Erasure, yeah.
Oh no, was it Aha?
No, it weren't Aha.
No.
It's Erasure.
No, it was Erasure, wasn't it? It was Erasure.
I wasn't a fan of either of them, to be honest.
That's such a shocking.
If I had to pick one out of the two, I'll go Depeche Mode.
Depeche, yeah, you gotta like a bit of Depeche. I mean, you didn't like that any of their songs, Nick? Personal Jesus, Just Can't Get Enough.
I like some. I just wouldn't say I was a massive fan of either of them. Like I wouldn't say, oh yeah, that it's definitely Tears for Fears. I was into like when I was younger. I was into like, I know it sounds weird and that, but people might take the piss at me. But I still like them now. But like Genesis, Phil Collins.
Oh mate,
you know what I mean? Like you look a bit like Phil Collins, Dan.
Bit of invisible touch.
Do you know what? I love Genesis. Like from the Peter Gabriel era to the Phil Collins era, and I love Phil Collins. I'm a huge fan.
Bit of Sussudio, Dan. Bit of Sussudio.
Everything.
That's a fan of that Sussudio.
Even go 70s Genesis as well. People don't realize they're really good stuff. I was supposed to see a Genesis, really good Genesis tribute at like the other year, and they fucking cancelled it at the Roundhouse.
I mean, my mate see the Genesis. I think it's about 4 years ago. He saw them. Took his old man. He said they were really good. The Genesis tribute.
Really, really good, really good. So I'm surprised with you, Nick. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I was well into them, man. Them.
Yeah.
What else was it when I was younger? Fucking the 80s. The 80s.
Thank you, escaping the rat race for the donation.
The 80s weren't full of good music, was it? But let's be fair, there was some bangers.
What? Nick,
good music in the 80s.
Nick, what are you talking about, mate? What are you
Dan's face there. Dan's face.
What are you talking about?
There was some. Don't get me wrong. Some icons come out of the 80s, and some of the biggest stars in thinking. But as a like music, yeah, it was all right if you like synthesizers and people just like fucking Wallies.
No,
Yeah,
it weren't.
I'll be honest, mate. I prefer that stuff from the 80s than some of the
Nick,
crap that's out now.
Listen,
No,
like
look, it was good. It was good. There's some really good music, but as a whole, no, not really.
like
Oh, no,
no,
mate,
you
80s was
can't.
brilliant for growing up in. I love
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah,
Yeah, best
that's
toys,
it.
best
I
films, music.
I like the Motown stuff from the 70s and stuff, man.
Yeah, but do you know
Compared to
what?
See, I like all sorts, like Motown quality.
Yeah, but look at what you call it. Like there was a revival of that in the 80s, and you had those groove soul songs, and you had like Evelyn Champagne, and and all of those tunes. There's some real good tunes.
Like fucking sparkly vampires. Well, I mean, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? They all look like they had fucking American football gear underneath their suit jacket. What the fuck was going on back then?
No. And then you had the
makeup. What the fuck, man?
You had the
Smiths, the new romantics, Nick. It was the new romantics.
Yeah, you're talking about one movement. You're talking about one movement in the 80s.
But that's how big that movement was, though. That's what I associate with the 80s.
Yeah, but the whole music, popular music, was amazing.
I think the 70s were better, man.
Right, come on, anyway, moving on.
Ideal European away trip. Yeah. Czech Republic, definitely. Prague, like because the whole Slavia Prague, I'd love to go there because I think they'd be very welcoming to West Ham fans. I think the atmosphere would be great, and I think it'd be good. I'd have to say, going to Slavia Prague.
Yeah, I think that'd be brilliant. If we got into Europe and drew Slavia Prague, man, fucking hell, I think that'd be a weekend and a half. That.
Yeah,
you'd have about 50,000 West Ham fans out there just for a weekend away. I think.
That's a long thing. Tuesday or Wednesday night.
Yeah, no, I'd stay out there all week.
Yeah, that's that would be dream come true. It would just be nice to have a good away day, and we'll dig out them old European tour T-shirts. Well, you know what? We should see if we've still got them anywhere. I hope I've still got mine. I'm going to wear that same European tour T-shirt, not an updated one. I want to wear the same one that we released 5 years ago.
I think mine one look after lockdown. Mine looked like been painted on.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man. I got a T-shirt on that. Right, you want to see this T-shirt, right? Look at this. I'll stand up.
Bloody hell. It's like a dress.
Do you know what? One of us in there with you, mate.
I love that. I love that picture Nicky took. You know, he done the before and after thing, right? And he had the before, and he's all standing like, and then the after, he took it, and he was like this. He was pouting like that.
I wasn't pouting. I wasn't pouting. Thank you very much. Couldn't see my mouth. I wasn't pouting. I just was holding the phone up like that.
It looked very posy with the leather jacket on and everything.
Do you know what? So fucking what? I didn't even used to like having photos taken. So.
Well, good on you.
Because look at what I used to look like. I look like a ball with an head. You know what I mean?
Oh. Do you know what, Nick? I wonder something. This is my own question. I'll put it in the chat. Why do you shave your facial hair, grow it, shave it, grow it, shave it? Why don't you ever just consistently have why do you go through them cycles?
I get fed up with it. I like it. I like facial hair.
I think it suits you more when you have a bit of something there.
Yeah, I do as well. But my missus is not like too keen on it. But so like every now and then it's just like I'm not one of them ones that is going to maintain it. You know what I mean? Like I'll shave it down, and then it's like a bit like Red Dead Redemption 2. You roaming around until it gets too big, and then you think, oh shit, I better go to.
Well, does she think it's too rough? It feels too.
Sometimes, yeah. But there's a level, but I'm never going to maintain it at that level. It's cut off to grow back, and then but sometimes I come out and you see me sometimes. It's fucking like.
Yeah. I think what you got it now. I think that's. I think it suits you. It's good look. Like when you're completely clean shaven, I can never just get past it. Always like that. Come on.
When Nick has a shave, he looks about 10.
I think Nicky looks. No, I think he looks younger when he's got a bit of something. Funnily enough.
Oh, do you?
No, I think he looks younger when he shaved it. But
All right, let's get a poll on. So Ben Herbert was £5. Cheers, Ben. Anyone go to the Circus Tavern for darts other days, ladies, or anything? I used to play darts, but I've never been to the darts, the Circus Tavern, or anything like that. I tell you, the darts now, I'd hate to go because it's just become like they're trying to make it too much like football. The fans are they cringe me out. Do you know what I mean? Like it's more they go and they're not really giving a shit what's happening in the game, in the match. It's all about what we're doing. You know, stand up if you love the darts. Fuck off. Like I can't stand that shit. Like it ruins the fucking game. Like they don't give a shit what's going on the hockey, as they say. So, but your Circus Tavern, I think, that's the one in. That was the BDO. That's in Lakeside, isn't it?
Yeah,
near Perth.
I've never been for anything. We've been for a couple of nights out. Do you come?
Yeah, I've been for nights out down there. I've been for a few nights out down there. Not for darts or anything, just general.
Me, Ryan, Gittins, and our mate Ginger and Lee and all that used to pop down there. Cobra and that used to go down there. Like when Wayne moved there, we went down there for a couple of nights out. It was. I found it quite weird because it's fucking massive, like, and it was like it was a nightclub. They turned it into like a nightclub. There was nothing going on, but it was like massive, and like, but there was just groups of people everywhere. You know what I mean? Like there was just so much space. It suited me down at the fucking ground.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just roam around. There's space everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, we had a couple of,
But you know, it's so funny actually. You know, like I was saying about how darts fans acting like football fans with a stand up if you love darts. The football fans started copying the darts fans, and we started seeing a lot of this stand up if you love West Ham, and that just I'm standing up anyway. But those chants they fucking annoy me. Like I don't like them sort of chants. Just chant. I want the proper West Ham chants, not this shitty darts chants. You know, give me fucking West Ham's Clarence Buami or something like that any day of the week. That's
Frizzy Head Fall says, Nick, have you seen Julian Dix walking around Wickford? I've seen him twice now, so I'm guessing he lives here now. Oh, that'd be mad, wouldn't it? He did. Imagine you pop into, like, you go up Greg's, you pop into Julian. All right, Julian, what are you getting? A bloomer? Oh, yeah. Gonna have a swan, gonna watch the footy. Yeah, that'd be mad.
Do you know what? It seems like every other week he's got a new grandkid. If you go on Twitter, there's always seems to be some. His truck just.
No way.
Dan's on a right downer tonight, isn't he?
I'm not having a go. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's an observation. I always see posts about granddad's got new grandkid. It seems like he's got a lot of grandkids. Nothing wrong with that. Good luck to him. Enjoy it. But it's just an observation. Someone confirm or deny if he's got a lot of grandkids.
I hope he does live here.
Or if he does indeed live in Wickford.
Yeah, if he does live in Wickford, I'm well excited, man. We're looking out the butchers and that. Oh, you getting Cumberland sausages? I like Lincolnshire sausages, mate. You know what I mean?
I'll getting a leg of lamb, are you? Oh,
yeah, I'll leg of lamb for dinner. Oh, yeah, I might get a beef for dinner.
There's a lot of these Van Gerwen comments, right? And the thing is, people always compare me to these clean-shaven bald people. Like, look, I look like Van Gerwen if I do that, right? From there upwards, I look like Van Gerwen. Like that bit of me looks like Van Gerwen. But people always compare me like to just clean-shaven bald people. I just nothing like Van Gerwen don't even have eyebrows.
Dan's going off on one like Sean Dyche did when they said he looked like.
Looking like him. I like looking like him. That's a good game. I love Sean Dyche. He's brilliant. He's fucking.
You look like that comedian.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, you look like a comedian. If I was to put you against
I know exactly the one you're thinking about, and I can't.
Yeah. You look like the comedian, the guy that the guy with a little fucking moustache and all of that sort of thing. You look like that comedian.
Yeah. What's his flipping name?
Is it Lee something?
Somebody tell us in the chat in a minute.
Idiot. He's bald. He's yes.
Danny Little Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, he is.
Stone Cold from Wish.
Wish.com Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what you are.
this is what Nicky's talking about.
Yes, yeah, him.
That's the guy.
That guy.
That's him.
Hello. I remember him.
Andy Parsons, that's his name.
Andy Parsons. I'd say I put Block of the Week comedian bald. That's what I typed in. And it came up straight away. It's
oh man, that's tickled me. Stone Cold.
I love Stone Cold from Wish Pain. I love that.
I look like I'll tell you what I look like if I can share my screen. Let me see if I can. Dan does it with ease. Let me see if I can share.
While you're doing that, let's get Graham up. There he is. Graham.
No, that's not him.
What? Come on, it does a bit. If Graham shaved and done the face, Graham, tilt your head like that and go. Uncanny. Oops. I don't need to click. I'm just clicking around. But yeah, that is.
Someone says, Gray, you look like James Nesbitt.
Harry Hill. Do you know what?
I
One
wish
day
I was as successful as James. Who's Harry Hill? Dan or
to me? Yeah, I'm going to. If we ever do it,
Dan, get a collar in like badgers. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a shirt with a big collar like that. You know, I've always tried to put my collar like him, but.
That's why I shaved my head, because that's what my hair was looking like. Hello, yes, my lady. Yes, my lady.
Get the doctor a Cannonball Run.
Yeah, get the doctor off Cannonball Run. That's what my hair looked like. That was bang on.
This is who Ryan said I look like, right? I'm going to get it up for you, right? I know the boys are going to know, but this is who Ryan always says I look like. Back in the day. What is his name?
You can't beat Looky Likeys, can you? Looky Likeys,
Cool.
it's a good
Talk on, I'll find it.
All right, we'll talk.
Dan, why do you sound like Den Perry out of Phoenix Nights? What's going on?
Right, all right. So,
That's how he sounds.
there was a question earlier. I can't remember who put it up, but he said, if you were a character out of the In-Betweeners, whose would you be?
What I'll leave out of it. What someone's just said that who I look like.
Go
Tom
on.
Allen, the comedian. Leave off. This guy, that's not very this comedian guy.
Oh, I know that. Do you know what? That guy was on Soccer Saturday a little while ago, man. He wound me up.
Yeah,
He drove me fucking mental. He was at a game.
Where's Scott gone?
This is this is who Ryan always said I look like.
Here we go.
Let me see if I can fucking get him up. This is Ryan said who's what I used to look like when I was a little bit younger.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that. Hang on, do say.
What, Boy George doing the litter picking?
Yeah, Boy George, community service, Boy George. He used to pull up these pictures all the time of Boy George on community service. He goes, look, that's you.
You know what? When you shave your beard off, you know what you do. You actually do. When you're clean shaven, you actually do. You know what? Apparently, he's a bit of an hard nut, Boy George. He can handle himself.
I know.
He once knocked someone out who was like back in the day. Imagine getting like seeing Boy George, you know, how we used to look in the 80s, and him just knocking you out. Like you just never, you know, you'd never be able to tell anyone.
Don't forget, Boy George was in the 18. Boy George was in the next episode of the 18.
Yep. That was the line. When you see Mr. Tin, he's like, Boy George, all right. You're like, wow, this is the world's colliding here.
It don't matter what impression Dan does. He sounds like Northern Working Man's Club comedian.
What? How does that, Boy George?
All right. You're all right, Boy George, all right.
That sounds nothing like what I just did, Graham. Nothing like what I just did. When you getting on. Maybe it's your hearing always sounds like a Northern comedian.
Maybe.
all of that sort of business. But yeah, we haven't done Scott, have we? Everyone else has had their fucking.
I tell you, Scott looks like.
Oh, yeah, here comes it.
Oh, here we go, Janusz. We're bringing up Janusz. A child.
A child.
Oh, no.
I'll never forget when I saw him in Mr. Bean the movie and was shocked to find out he's American.
What's happening? Is Nicky frozen?
Yeah, look at the way Nicky's froze, that big grin on his face. Oh, it's only on small screen. He's trying. That is Scott. When you do grow your hair a little bit, I know.
The wife to you, a mother to me.
He's Vigo.
He's Vigo. Yes, Lord Vigo.
Yes, the child.
Scott is Alvin from Chipmunks cartoon. You're Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks. What? He said he looks like a chipmunk.
To me and Dana, Simon Theodore.
Yeah. And Nicky's what the bloody what's his name?
Nicky the human that looks after them all.
Ryan,
what about
Ryan?
Ryan?
I'll get Ryan up. Because I thought he was a fucking spitting image of this geezer, man. Back in the day. And do not ever fucking tell me he's not.
Wow, we've had some.
I'll find one.
We need to somehow one day to dress up as these people say we look like.
What's that?
Yeah, is that Scott? That's from the. Does he mean the? I think he meant the cartoon version.
Oh, the cartoon version. Hold on.
Oh, fucking.
Yes, that's Ryan.
Harry McCoy.
Don't tell me that ain't Ryan.
When he was a little bit younger, yeah.
Yeah, we was doing this 10 fucking years ago, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are, Scott. That's you. What the fuck?
And that's being flanked by me and Dan, I think.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's
yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah. It's I've seen the young David Moyes is a sight to
You look so just like Ryan. I was expecting to pull out a Pat Butcher mask.
Dan would be the music producer. From funny you say that. I did used to be a music producer, James. I did used to be a music producer in the past, in my younger days. So I probably would.
Was you a Northern comedian music producer?
Yeah.
You're all right.
All right.
You're gonna go far, lads.
I'd love to sit here chatting all night. I really would, but I got to have something to eat, man. I ain't had nothing to eat all day.
I didn't realise the time. You know.
Yet. What you got, Nick? What you got? I ain't had mine yet. What you got?
I ain't got fuck all, boy. I got to go and make it, man. I don't know what I've got. What you got?
Bake. I can smell it. Pasta bake.
What does that mean? Dan understand Phil Mitchell. What does that mean?
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. As always, you make our nights, you make our weeks, and we hope that we go a little way of easing what has been a very, 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 very long and tough lockdown, which we're coming to the end of. As I said before, we are working on a live show. So obviously it's not for everyone because a lot of people are not here, are they?
You mean live in person?
Live in person.
We're currently doing a live show.
We do live every week, don't we? We're live now,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying like a live in person show, and we're gonna, to get us all back together and have as I said, we're gonna do sort of an hour and a half on stage with a couple of guests and whatever, and get everyone together and have a big party, get to meet some of you all. Live and in person, and just have a good night and a party, and kick off the end of lockdown and all that sort of stuff. But this is where this has come from, and we've built a lovely community here, and we look forward to meeting you all. And anything else? Anyone got anything else to add before?
Watch along on Monday. Get on it. So watch along Monday. It's going to be a big one.
No, watch along Monday. Post-match pint.
Dan sex noises on Monday.
I've got midweek meetings coming up tomorrow to sort of fill the void of the week. And yeah, there's loads.
I should have an opposition preview with a Leeds fan. And they'll see how if they're less confident than they were the last time they faced us when they're giving it the big one. We'll see. So lots to come, lots to look out for.
Yeah, as someone said, there won't be long to some old bastard's coughing in your fucking face while you're standing at the bar, which I'm actually looking forward to. Yeah, but yeah,
depending on how old they are, that could be one of us.
Yeah, I guess
Speak
so.
for yourselves. Speak for yourselves.
Yeah, but thank you very much for that. You can join us on Patreon if you can. We've got a few new shows going up there. We've got sort of extra post-match pints. We've got a couple of things going up there nowadays, and we're going to have more and more being added to it. But thank you all so much to all the patrons that have supported us so far. Yeah, thanks for that.
Oh my God, no, before we go, I have to show this now because it's so funny, right? The guy that people said I look like is a West Ham fan. Look at him. Oh, that's taken me to a video. But look, he's a West. Look, there's bubbles. Look, he's a West Ham fan.
No, it's Burnley.
No, what's that bubble then?
That's the cum bubble that he's just sucked a dick.
It says West Ham. Uploaded by West Ham United FC. He's a West Ham fan.
In the background, that's the London Stadium in the background.
Oh yeah, you're right, Scott. Yeah, you're right.
He is I'll have no slander against our fellow Hammer, who I apparently look like. So I just had, before we go, I had to put that because I just looked and went, wait a minute, it's a fucking West Ham scarf on the bubble.
Before we go, I've got to put that one up.
Edgar Madsen. Do you know? I'd love it if I could own West Ham for like fucking 2 years or whatever it was.
Happy Emma says he's West Ham LGBT. Yeah, good on him. Good on him.
Is he head of the group? Because he's a comedian. He must be.
Yeah. No, I think he's funny. He does 8 out of 10 cats a lot.
I don't watch modern British comedy, so I'm not familiar with him.
All right, let's not get back into a conversation. We've signed off, mate. Come on now.
Sorry.
Thank you very much for joining us. As I said, you can join us on Patreon. You can also look at our merchandise. The link is in the description down below. There's new stuff coming out today. I had a little couple of messages exchanged today, and there's some new stuff coming up very, very, very soon. And if you're new around it, just subscribe, like it, and all that. I've got to say something, a really quick something before we go. And I didn't want to start off the show like this because obviously it's a very sad subject for me. I don't know whether anybody saw me on Twitter earlier on this week. I said life is fragile. Unfortunately, my auntie, my dad's sister, passed away very, very suddenly on Monday. And it was it Monday? Yeah, I think it was Sunday, going into Monday. And obviously, it's a very sore subject for me. I had to have a day or two to sort of get my head round everything. And my dad's very, he's down in the dumps. And my nan's in pieces, and we all are. And it's. I just wanted to say that, for everyone, I'm thinking of them. And just because I've been sitting here laughing and joking tonight doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean a lot. I thought I'd leave it to the end because I didn't want to start on a downer. So, but I'm thinking of you all and all my love. But that's it from us. Anything else to say, boys?
Just one thing, mate.
One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.
Awkward
Everyone
wait from
keeps getting.
Scott.